morning, lovely people. It is Wednesday, the 25th of January. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And let's just get to introducing ourselves.
It's me. I am him.
And it is your favourite... It is your favourite shade queen. The ones you guys have given a new tag and I absolutely love.
What's the new tag?
Little Miss, I'm keeping that ring. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to drop my next manicure reel. That is the caption. This is the nails I'm keeping the ring with. But it is your favourite shade queen, my royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, and of course the melanin's always jam-packed.
Always. Do you wear bright colours?
Do I wear
like a mustard?
Yeah, I would, you know.
Okay, good. I think this summer, take that melanin.
I think you're right.
Because it really makes the melanin pop. A nice co-ord. Yeah.
You're not a bright colour, man.
Why you...
No, I've got like a mustardy, orangey jumper,
yes.
You know? Yeah.
Oh, I love
Sometimes you got to switch it on them, you know?
You really have to switch it for your enemies, exactly. So they don't know what to predict.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the vibe, man.
You look Senegalese when you wear it.
Huh?
You look Senegalese when he wears it.
The Senegalese.
What do Senegalese even look like?
Yeah, what does that mean, bro? Trying to say I look like Akon on that?
Nah. Did you see there was a picture of Akon the other day, yeah? Did you see his hairline?
It was Akon, Jaro, and
Yes.
and Fat Joe. That is funny.
It was like Akon just put the hair on and just left it top.
But put it up, man.
No.
It's so ugly. So what the hell?
But I thought his hairline was real.
Nah, it's definitely not. God did not do that. God did not on that one.
The girls were hating on that picture.
Men should have been hating too.
They were like, yeah, I don't want to hear that. Obviously, like, men got sell by dates too. You get me? Like,
Nah, Uncle definitely does. I think it's the numerous wives. I don't think he can keep up.
well, how many wives has he got?
Hella. He's got like at least 9.
No, that's not.
Nah. Because I remember one of the girls came on Love and Hip Hop and she was like, I'm number like 5 or something. This was years ago.
Serious?
Yeah. Let's find out.
Maybe he's downsized then.
Yeah, no, why do you think he's expanded? Bro?
He's definitely expanded.
Because I heard he's got 9 kids, but like at least 3 wives. Something like that.
Them man are finished.
Well, Google's a liar. Google talking about 1.
They're millionaires, isn't it?
Look at that. And you know what it looks like as well, yeah?
Whoa.
What the fuck? How much do you weigh, blood?
You're doing your foot, man. Sorry, man.
He said, how much do you weigh? Damn.
I need to put my
There's a lot of
earphones
behind
in.
the scenes stuff going on. Yeah. And you know what it is as well? It looks like it's risen. Like, you know, sometimes people talk about like high wigs when the girls have high wigs. Girls, let's.
Well, has he drawn that on?
It looks like
Is
it's
that-
a
is it
hat. I'll be honest,
it's like
it
a
looks like
copy
a
and
hat.
paste thing.
It's like he just dropped it on his head and just placed it there.
So who looks the best out of them 3?
Ja Rule. But I can't. When I look at him, I just think Firefest. That's the sad thing. Do you get what I mean? You would never live that down. But Ja Rule definitely looks the best.
Jaro looks like he's trying too hard.
Yeah, he looks like he's
With the shades.
trying to do like a thug
He's
life
LV
thing.
head to toe, like he's 12.
Yeah, his new money.
Yeah, like.
I mean, technically, I think he did lose his money with Firefest, so technically.
Whenever I see him, I see 50 Cent.
Really?
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's see what Ja Rule looks like on Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, he's still a zaddy.
Oh, is it?
Body and everything. Okay. No, my zaddy though, but he could be a zaddy.
They say he's got it still, yeah?
But he definitely is doing like a lot of like thug life situation.
Fuck
Like-
no. He's hench though, isn't it?
He's very hench. Yeah, Ja Rule, and then I would say Joe. And then that's it.
Fat
I'm
Joe's
never
come a
going
long
to
way,
go
though,
Akon's way.
Fat Joe's come a long way, man.
He has.
What, they're losing the weight and all that?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, he looks healthy now, man.
He's very healthy.
To be fair to him.
No, why is Akon's head like... It's like a cone. Anyway, whatever. Let me just stop. But so basically, I want to show you guys a video, right? Brent's going to play it. And basically, is this guy... I guess he's like a fitness influencer or something. I don't know. he looks visibly white.
Okay.
Like he looks very white, but his reels are like how Africans how Africans are in the gym, and then it's him doing like dances with like weight and equipment.
Okay.
I just want to know what you guys thought about that, because when I saw it, I came out very quickly. I said this is just some foolishness, but Brendan's about to play it.
He's moving like PK, so I hear him. Like,
I hate these people, man.
I hate it, E-man. Because obviously I tried to do my diggings to see whether he is mixed or something. But you know, like some people that are mixed, not everybody, of course. Some people that are mixed that people see as white adjacent, they're always very loud and proud about being mixed. You know what I mean? It will be in their bio, but in his bio, he's just got the Canadian flag.
Yeah. This guy's just pure white.
He looks pure white. Yeah. I've tried to see. I thought, okay, curly hair, maybe that's something. I just think he just has a bendy roller kind of thing.
Yeah, or he's a Viking or something.
You know, mix with something. Mix with some foolishness, if you ask me. And I just thought it was very weird. But then,
so what are you saying? What are the rules? He's not allowed to do that?
No. Because, you know, as well, but the thing is, I think he's weird for what he's doing. But the people that are weirder are the Africans in his comments talking about, oh, just come and get your citizenship. Come and get your passport. I hate
when black people do that rubbish. Man.
I hate it. And I also hate when like black people praise white people for doing stuff. Like when you see a white person speaking like Yoruba or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, yes. And they love, I'm like, they don't praise you for speaking English. They're shocked you can speak English.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he's done like a Nigerian one. He's done an Ivory Coast one. He's done a Senegal one. He's done all sorts.
It's lighthearted, don't it?
It is. It's lighthearted, but I want to see it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just find it weird. I don't know. I find using like black culture for engagement. That's the word. For social media engagement, weird. I find it weird.
So do you find it weird when more comedians being like a Cockney black guy, like kind of like Julie, give us a couple of cans, kind of white stuff? Do you think that's weird shit as well?
No, because the black people that actually speak like that, because that's to do the era you've grown up in.
There's white people that love Congolese culture.
Yeah, but he loves Congolese, Senegal, Nigeria, Ghana. He loves them all. He loves them all.
Hey.
But yeah. To be fair, there are. I think maybe I know it's definitely a double standard thing. I think there are things that if a black person was doing it, actually, but I don't really like the black dancers too. To be fair, I'm not really a Zonta warrior kind of babe.
Have you seen that hench black guy? He goes around dancing in
He
restaurants.
pisses me off.
He's holding us back. He's holding us back.
See, I'm saying so. There's equivalent on the black side too that I find annoying.
Yeah, no, he's holding us.
He's annoying.
He's holding us back. Slavery will never diminish.
Will never break you.
Because I am 100%.
Like as long as man like that exists, yeah. Honest to God, like what the fuck, bro? Like what? See that little shake that he does when he's brother. Black people can't prosper.
Do you know? I'll be honest with you. I think certain things I'm like, you're too big for this.
Brother, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Is it, are you okay?
What's going on there, man?
No, please. There's no way they can see that, is there?
Bro,
I'm going through it this morning.
this is crazy.
I don't know what's going on.
Are you alright?
Is everything okay with you, Steph?
No, everything's fine. I'm just having a clumsy, couple of minutes here.
Couple of minutes.
No, because all I done was turn to face him, and then they just all came down.
Friend is just like, you know what?
I was like, you should have stayed home today. Coming in for me.
All right. Oh, stop it.
Nah, it's not gonna work. Honestly. Good,
Just have the ones by mugs.
leans a bit,
But they can't see the middle ones anyway.
and then we should be straight.
Camera's been black. All right.
Right, that'll be my last incident today.
How are you, Yusuf?
I'm alright, man. What a chaotic intro. I'm alright, man. Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Just a little. Okay.
My thing is, you don't move your legs though when people are walking past you though.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, you don't move your legs.
You don't move your legs.
Sorry.
He like expects you to jump over. Like
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you got to do, get over this. But I'm not moving my legs.
I had your legs and I had the wires too, and I thought
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah.
make it. And then I was like, no.
I said no.
Yeah.
My bad. Man said he calls himself Grooving Gorilla. Is that real?
I hope he doesn't.
I don't like that.
I hope he doesn't.
I mean,
Let me go on his Instagram quickly.
Dancing
See if
was
he
all
does.
fun and games was all cool.
But that's just too far.
Grooving Gorilla.
Let's see what he calls himself.
I don't like
I hope he really doesn't call himself that.
I don't like that. No.
But then, do you know what though? You know, sometimes when people say something about like gorillas and stuff like that, and black people automatically think it's about them.
Yeah, why are you
Why
claiming,
do we do
why
that?
are you claiming monkeys for like?
Why do we do that? Well, I say we. I don't. I came into this world as a human. I don't believe in that whole. I was a caveman, a cave babe, and then I became a gorilla. Then I became a fish. I don't know. All of that. I don't subscribe. But
No,
do you know what I mean? Why do we do that?
No, it's because
It's
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 because you know what
yeah?
people are insinuating. So even though you don't want to take it, like you know what people are
No,
insinuating.
but are they though?
You don't see yourself as a monkey, but if you and your friends was fooling around somewhere and a white man come out and say, "Yo, stop all this monkey business," you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna take that personal, like what? who are you talking to?
Let's stop all this monkey business.
That's actually a perfect example.
Like you're hugging it if you do that. You're taking it like you're feeling offended.
That is true. I don't know. I think it's weird. I think sometimes we want, like, we just want these. I think you said it one time as well when people like act ghetto. I'm gonna call it acting black.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Hey.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Damn it. There's a lot of things
That's
holding us
funny.
back. But guys, like the video. Thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel as well. And kindly go on our Twitter and retweet today's show's synopsis. So that is on the day after TNB on Twitter. And let's start the show. Let's get into our first headlines.
All right, so our first headline, some sad news and a bit of a trigger warning here as well. Family members have come out and said that 2 British nationals were killed while attempting a humanitarian evacuation. Andrew Bagshaw, who's 47, and Christopher Parry, 28, went missing earlier this month while heading to the town of Soledar in the eastern Donetsk region of the country, where heavy fighting was reported. According to a statement from the parents of Mr. Bagshaw, the pair were attempting to rescue an elderly woman in an area of intense military action when the car was hit by an artillery shell. On Tuesday, Mr. Parry's family confirmed the men were killed in a statement released through the Foreign Office. The statement from Rob, Christine and Kate Parry said, "It is with great sadness we have to announce that our beloved Chrissy has been killed along with his colleague Andrew Bagshaw while attempting a humanitarian evacuation from Soledar, eastern Ukraine. His selfless determination in helping the old, young and disadvantaged there has made us and his larger family extremely proud. We never imagined we would be saying goodbye to Chris when he had such a full life ahead of him. He was a caring son, a fantastic brother, a best friend to so many, and a loving partner to Olga. We intend that his death shall not be in vain. We are amongst many parents who grieve the deaths of their sons and daughters. We urge the civilized countries of the world to stop this immoral war and to help the Ukrainians to rid their homeland of an aggressor." And the next headline is, I want to see what you guys think of this, yeah? Well, basically, 6 journalists in South Sudan have been detained over the circulation of footage showing the president, Salva Kiir, appearing to wet himself at an official event. So the footage from December showed a dark stain spread down the 71-year-old president's grey trousers as he stood for the national anthem at a road commissioning event. The video never aired on television, but subsequently circulated on social media. Patrick Oyet, who's the president of South Sudan Union of Journalists, said that the journalists who work with the state-run South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation were detained on Tuesday and Wednesday. He told Reuters they are suspected of having knowledge on how the video of the president urinating himself came out. South Sudan Information Minister Michael Makuri and the National Security Service spokesperson David Kumuri did not immediately respond to the request for a comment. But Kiir, who's been the president since South Sudan gained independence in 2011, government officials have repeatedly denied rumours circulating on social media that he's unwell, and the country has been embroiled in conflict for much of the past decade. So, like I was saying, It's basically what happened to him, man.
He wet himself.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 71.
So he says he's deteriorating.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a.
He's denied. He's denied, obviously, that he's
He
unwell
went
and
to-
everything. Yeah. No, that's clear.
God, you had grey trousers on. Keep it real.
But
Okay, okay.
So what, the anthem coming, he just
yeah, man, he couldn't hold it.
did he walk off the stage or something?
I'm not too sure. I've not
gotta
seen the
stand
footage
in it.
myself.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you
you
do.
don't. I said you gotta
No,
stand
no,
there.
no. If you tell people you're not feeling well, that you're perfect health, and you wet yourself, you gotta stand in it. Grey trousers and all. Just got. It is what it is. Give your speech like
man.
you've never given a speech before. That is sad
Yeah.
there. How old is he? 71.
71, yeah.
Is he a good president though?
I mean, depends who you're talking to.
Oh well.
He's been there since they got independence. So in 2011. So he's obviously, yeah.
How many years that is?
Yeah.
Then again, it's on brand for African leaders. So
This is it, man. But yeah, but obviously the guy, Patrick Oyet, who's the president of South Sudan Union of Journalists, right? He's obviously concerned because what he's saying is by law, South Sudanese authorities are only allowed to detain suspects for only 24 hours before bringing them back before a judge.
So he's saying they detained a journalist
Yeah.
who posted the video of him pissing
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah. Either they post it or they know who posted it.
So
And
they
detain-
make them.
yeah.
Yeah, it's tough over there, isn't it? It's tough.
You wouldn't let him escape your country if it is that he did that. Got you in a compromising position.
If I wouldn't let the journalist leave.
Yeah. You'd hold it against him.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be in that position. I don't think.
100%.
Let's just start there.
100%. Definitely not that, but something else, innit?
Okay.
You definitely, you'd be punished, man. Move his passport and all sorts, man. Definitely.
And the last headline, again, hopefully I don't have to report on something like this tomorrow, but basically, trigger warning here. A gunman.
I'll stop it.
Yeah. A gunman's killed 3 people at random at a Washington convenience store before fleeing the scene, police said. And this happened on Tuesday, so yesterday, and they warned the public not to approach the suspect, who could be armed and dangerous. Jared Haddock, who's 21, was identified by police as a suspect after the attack at the Circle K store in Yakima, about 110 miles southeast of Seattle, at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, obviously on Tuesday.
That's horrible.
Apparently, the suspect pulled into the gas station across the street from the store and attempted to get inside, but found the doors locked. He then entered the Circle K, pulled out a gun, and started shooting. He shot 2 people who were buying food. Both were killed. The suspect then walked out of the store and shot another person who also died. Yakima Police Chief Matthew Murray said that the suspect went back across the street to the Arco AM/PM gas station and shot into a car and drove off. Police have not confirmed who the car belongs to, but they believe it could belong to the suspect. What he said was it appears to be a random situation. There was no apparent conflict between the parties involved, and the male just walked in and started shooting.
What a sicko. It's horrible, man.
But yeah, that's the end of the headlines.
All right, let's get into your what you saying topic of the day.
All right, so today's topic of the day, this was sent to me by a friend of the show, Christy, who might even call in. And basically,
Is that big up, Christy?
yep, big up Christy. And basically, Little Duval, he put out a tweet. And basically, it was about generational wealth. So I want to see everyone's thoughts on this, right? Obviously, when Mars come back, I'll probably have to read it again. But generational wealth, this is what he's saying, takes discipline and a family that's all on the same page.
Okay.
From great-grandfather to great-grandchild.
Read that one more time, sorry.
Okay. Generational wealth takes discipline and a family that's all on the same page. From great-grandfather to great-grandchild.
Yeah.
So many people have tried to create generational wealth for their namesake, but the kids dropped the ball because they didn't understand the bigger vision. I'm starting to think it's really no way to have long generational wealth without effing over mass amounts of people. Because everybody that has it now did at some point. And basically he retweeted somebody else who said, look, generational wealth starts with one big thief.
Do you know what? Lil Duval talks a lot. And sometimes I don't want to hear what he's talking about.
Okay.
But that is very, very true.
Okay.
That is very wise, actually.
What part you want to tackle first?
I think the first part where he said about generational wealth everyone has to be on code.
Same page,
From
yeah.
the great grandparents to the great grandchild. Absolutely. And when I think about it, the family, unfortunately, it's one of those things where to get everyone on code, there's no allowance for what you would like to do. Do you get what I mean? It's one of those ones where it's like your great grandfather owned a farm, so the granddad owns the farm, then it's passed on to the father, then it's passed on to the kids. So if you want to be an artist, we can't accommodate for that. You're going to be a farmer. Do you get what I mean? And when I think about the families that be like, oh, we've had like this old money, it's because that has been passed on. Where it's like the life you're going to live is already carved out for you. You just step into it and you just fall in line.
Yeah, but some people don't want to fall in line though. Some people want to do what they want to do.
And those are the thieves. I'm joking. No. Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean, some people don't want to take over the family farm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so.
But then I guess that's how you may start to diversify your portfolio, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe one child takes over the family farm, but then somebody goes into the artistic side of farming, I don't know, and then somebody else goes into something else. You know what I'm saying? Because typically, none of these people have just one kid. To kind of work out that way.
Do you know what I think though? I think sometimes when you've got like multiple kids here, you just got to pick the one that is on code.
True.
I don't know, it might sound any kind of way, but if you got 4 kids and only one of them believes in this dream of, carrying on with the farm, then the kid with the farmer spirit, farmer gene, is the one that will carry on. I think it's difficult when you got different kids here because people have different personalities. I think when you got one kid, it's easier for me, in my opinion. I think it's easier to kind of mold that kid to be what you want. Obviously, some kids will be like, no, blah, 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 whatever. But I think it's easier that way than when you have multiple kids. Because if you think about like a family where there's multiple kids, like every child's experience of the parents will always be different. So the things that the firstborn was getting in trouble for, the third born doesn't even have to ask and they just do it. Do you get what I mean? And like things that the second born got in trouble for or will be different. It might be like less. I feel like parents get tired the more the kids come along. Do you get what I mean? So I think if something like that, I think if you really want generational wealth and it's a thing, you might just have to pick the good one. The one that's good, that wants to follow in the dream and carry that on that way.
Okay.
And I think that's where the enemy stuff comes into it then. Because that will then obviously come up with that jealousy comes into it, envy and family discourse. But if your goal is generational wealth, pick your sperm and egg that did that.
What's generational wealth mean?
I guess wealth that is grown at a particular time continues to be sustained with every generation.
Does it have
in
to
your
be,
family?
Is it a certain amount?
I'm not too sure, I don't
Like
think it
if
has
you
to
got a
meet
family
certain
business,
thresholds.
but it's just bubbling along,
Yeah.
and your son can come and take it, are you creating general wealth?
I think so, yeah.
Or if you've got like a trade, say that your dad was a butcher and you're a butcher and your son's got the butchers, is that general wealth, or generational wealth? Or are people just talking about like exuberant amounts of money?
I think that's a family business. I think we all have our ideas about what wealth is and a number in it. If you've got a business which is just kind of trotting on, then I wouldn't see it as wealth. I see it as a family business.
You're creating wealth for generations, though.
Yeah, but
Generational wealth refers to any kind of asset that families pass down to their children or grandchildren, whether in form of cash, investment funds, stocks and bonds, properties, or even companies.
So then it's not about the amount then. So that is generational wealth then.
No, I hear what you're saying, but if the business isn't generating money to where you guys are living comfortably and you've got a certain amount of freedom, there's lots of money coming in, then
It's generation.
That's what you've told yourself. But if I give my son a business, I mean, fair enough. I'm not saying if you can't live lavishly, I hear you. But if I give him a business where the roof's over your head and the food's on the table and the bills are paid, what are you talking about?
I don't see it that way. If I give my son a failing business,
failing. No,
okay, cool. If I give my son a business which is just breaking even, I don't see that as generational wealth. I see that as me giving my son a business. He may be able to turn it around. Hopefully he does.
Create generational wealth.
But I don't feel like me giving my son a business which isn't making lots of money is me creating. I'm creating an opportunity for him to actually create money. But at that given moment in time when I pass the business down to him, I don't see it as, this is generational wealth. I see this is a business opportunity that I'm passing down to my son, and hopefully he can make it flourish.
I guess, that will go down to the definition of the asset part, innit? Because if it's not an asset, then, like you're saying, it's of no real benefit, then it wouldn't be generational wealth.
That's what I'm saying.
But I guess typically a lot of the time when we talk about generational wealth, everyone's kind of talking about huge amounts.
And that's
what I'm saying?
that's why I said that's what the general notion is. When we say generational wealth, we're not talking about a business which is just breaking even. We're talking about
Not even just breaking
Big
even.
money.
Though. It's like you want more than just break. It don't have to be just breaking even. It could
Okay,
be making
cool.
profits.
all right. Yeah, but
Generational
But-
wealth.
No, but-
That's
no, but- no, but-
right,
no, but-
like a family business
Yeah, but
is
we all-
leaving generational wealth.
No, but I-
especially if you keep it in the family for
Yeah.
generations.
yeah, but
and
when
it's
you
thingy.
say generational wealth, you know, like we're talking about a certain. I'm not saying you've got to put a figure on it, but we're not talking about a business which is just turning over a couple thousands a month. That's not what I don't believe anyway. That when the world says that, they're talking about a business which is turning over $5,000 a month. Like we're talking about big bucks. That's the impression I get anyway when people say generational wealth. No.
Yeah. I think by definition it encompasses all of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're saying, typically in conversation,
Yeah.
everyone's talking about the rich.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the rich.
families. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know because dependent on what you want to do, you can sell the business. You don't have to actually take it on, and having that ability to sell a business, you have wealth passed on to you.
Yeah, because it's an asset.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's
So,
what, yeah. We're
yes,
saying
we,
that, yeah.
we do tend to talk about it in the framing of the mega rich, but that's not essentially what it means by
No.
definition.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what Yusuf was saying. Isn't it?
Okay.
Not really, because I'm saying what Brent's saying.
What Brent's
that-
saying by definition, yeah.
Yeah, so it is, but he's saying nah, that's not really the general wealth we're talking about.
Because I don't believe that when people talking about generational wealth, I don't think they're going off the dictionary definition. So if I give my son a particular asset, if I give my son a pair of trainers that are worth, I don't know, 100 grand, I don't believe that people see that as generational wealth. People see generational wealth as the way I thought people see it is when a family has money, and they've had that money for generations, and that money keeps going through.
So with
Kids-
your
kids-
your
kids-
thing, you're
kids-
saying if you gave someone or your son had a business that turned over, not even saying profit, but just turned over £1 million a year, you're saying that's not even general
No,
wealth.
that's a million's different. Come on, $1 million compared to my example was a couple thousand.
Yeah, but $1 million. It's them people with proper money that we're talking about in that generation. That million ain't nothing. That's nothing.
Yeah, but that million could still. If I give my son a business which is turning over millions of pounds every year, yeah, then he has the foresight to create even more money.
So if it turned over £400,000 a year,
Then I don't see that generational wealth.
400,000.
No,
okay. That's what I'm saying. This is-
because remember, if you with generational wealth, right?
Yeah.
Isn't the premise that this money can just keep on going, right? 400,000. There's no saying that money is going to keep trickling over.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
This is what I think is. I think Yusuf is basically saying what most people out there
Yeah.
think when they hear generational wealth, innit?
But it
But in
excludes
terms-
too many people in manner.
Huh?
It will exclude too many people.
Yeah, of course. But okay. Let's keep it to the strict definition here. In terms of generational wealth, let's just say something that you can pass on to at least 2 generations. So you to your grandchildren, yeah. How realistic do you think that is in today's society? That's number one. And number 2, do you feel like everyone has to be on the same page for that to be a real something that comes into fruition?
I don't think you have to be on the same page in terms of doing the same thing. I think if we all have this, if you raise your children to understand the importance of generational wealth and stuff, I think that generational wealth is attainable for this generation. Because first of all, we have opportunities our parents did not have.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So that's one. I think also if it's a case where, and obviously today, like we see ourselves, we are outside of the traditional, careers, paths and all that kind of stuff, right? And I think if it's not doing the exact same thing your parents were doing, and it's just carrying on the wealth, so your parents were wealthy, they're passing that wealth to you, you may go however you want to go and invest that wealth and create wealth again. I think it's attainable. I think it's easier, I would say, to get on code. In this society that we live in now, with our generation, the resources we have, education, all that even the knowledge that we have, I think it's more attainable than it was for our parents' generation that lived here.
Why do you think it's something that isn't? Obviously, I don't want to speak negatively about the future, right? But why do you think it is something that's most likely not going to be the reality for most people? Then, if it's something that can be attained, kind of so readily.
Because we lack discipline. that's why I said I agree with what Lil Duval said. It takes
Yeah.
discipline.
Okay.
And the majority of the people in the world ain't like. I think it's the minority of people that are like the entrepreneurs and that.
Yeah.
The majority of the people are the workers.
That's
You know what I'm
it.
trying to say? So if you're a worker, you're not doing that's not going to be your story.
So you think a prerequisite for generational wealth is that you have to have some type of business?
Yeah, because again, obviously, when like Yusuf's right, innit? When we say generational wealth, our brain automatically goes somewhere, innit?
Yeah.
But now we're having a conversation. I'm thinking about. I'm of the mindset of generational wealth is being able to create wealth for generations, and whatever gets you through it is enough, or is enough for you is enough for you. It don't have to be an exceptional amount of money or any of these things. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so I think it's definitely attainable. But if you ain't got no type of business or no type of entrepreneurship or no type of ownership of assets, houses, whatever it may be, to leave them behind, then you can't. It's not going to be attainable.
Okay, so let's switch it to the wealthy families like we're talking about here, that most of us, I guess, tend to think about. Do you feel like it's possible to get that wealthy without effing over somebody? Can you do it legally?
Legally.
You want to reread the tweet to Mags?
Yes, let me do that quickly. So basically, this is based on a tweet from Lil Duval, yeah? And he said that generational wealth takes discipline and a family that's all on the same page from great-grandfather to great-grandchild. So many people have tried to create generational wealth for their namesake, but the kids dropped the ball because they didn't understand the bigger vision. I'm starting to think it's really no way to have long generational wealth without effing over a mass amount of people, because everybody that has it now did at some point.
What is that? Is that an opinion or is that a fact?
I don't know. I think it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's a fact, but I feel like when you look at the history of big businesses, like billion-dollar corporations,
But that
if
industry,
you do your digging,
cutthroat.
yeah, but if you do your digging, you always find some untoward stuff in there. You know what I mean?
I hate you, but that industry is cutthroat, and that's just like part and parcel of.
Then what industry isn't? What industry isn't cutthroat then?
Exactly, it's part and parcel of business. Like I'm saying, like it's not.
Then the answer is yes. Then I guess.
Do you feel like it is kind of necessary? You have to have a certain type of mentality.
But is it anything? I'm saying, is it anything like untoward? Is it some snakery and skullduggery, or is it part and parcel of the business? When someone wins, someone loses.
I think it's
Do you
part
get what I'm
of
trying to
it,
say?
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
depends on what you're saying. Like, obviously, if you're stealing, embezzling, doing fraud, that's a crime, right? But if you're just doing shrewd business where you might be cutting people off and doing what's best for you, then that's just doing shrewd
game,
business.
innit?
That's the game, innit? So it depends. I think it depends what road you go down. You know what I mean?
In this day and age, I think,
Like, for example, if you're betraying your friends,
yeah.
betraying people who you started the business with because you see opportunity to cut them out and make even more money, you know what I'm trying to say? Is that you doing something untoward, or is that just you doing shrewd, and maybe some people might look at it as good business?
Definitely a bit untoward. Definitely. I just think in this day and age, with all the opportunities to make money and the way the internet works, the way the world's been made so smaller, the way things go viral, you can catch on. There's definitely big opportunities to do those kind of things. But again, it's still for the minority. Like you can package it up and make it like everybody's got access. Well, everybody kind of has got access to all these things, internet and whatnot. But all the special ingredients that it takes to make that, not everybody has it. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, not everybody wakes up out of bed hungry like that. Not everybody has the ideas. Not everybody wants to do entrepreneur shit. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That. So again, I think I don't want to say if it's easier or harder, but it's definitely accessible. But again, it's always going to be the minority because the majority of people don't want to do that. You get me? Like, someone's got to shovel the shit. You get me? We make the world go round. You got to drive the buses and open up the shops and you get me? And if you're doing that, there's no real generational wealth to speak of.
I feel like some parents though they do groom, might be the wrong word, but they groom their children to take over the business.
Yeah.
I mean,
again, but they would have to have a business to start off with to.
Take over.
No, obviously,
Take over,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean those who have businesses.
Yeah.
Would you guys adopt that type of mentality? All of your millionaires, right?
Yeah.
You all got at least I don't know, one big business, right? Will you kind of be like, I'm going to groom my child to take this over, or kind of give them free reign to kind of do their own thing?
Both.
Okay. If you had to choose one though, what would be more important to you?
Probably to take over the business.
Okay.
But you can still take over the business and live your life.
Of course.
So, I mean, like, just find the balance within yourself. You don't have to, put all your eggs in this basket. I'm not asking you to do
Yeah,
that. I'm
you're
asking you to
breaking
take
up,
care
you're
of your
breaking
family
up.
asset. What's that?
Someone's on the phone. Good morning.
Good morning. You're breaking up over there.
Yeah, we're clear over here. But...
Okay, so we're breaking up over here. Are you? You'll be wilding sometimes.
How's it going, man?
It's going well. It's going well.
Good. Yes, what do you want to say?
Right. So when you're talking about generational wealth,
Yeah.
what I think is the children they want, and if they realize the skill in life, innit? Because I believe everyone has a skill, but it depends whether they actually find that skill and whether they actually focus on that skill to make them the best that they could possibly be. See, for example, if my kids were a farmer, well, the family business was like farming, and a couple of my youths didn't want to go into farming, I'll be like, all right, fair enough. Then what are you going to go into? What are you good at? Then with that skill that they honed, they use the money that I've made for farming to invest in other things, in their skill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's the only way that you could actually build generational wealth so that everyone could be actually like pleased. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the children are going to go off and do their own thing, but I'd rather keep it in-house and see what they're actually good at. If they're not good at something, then I'll be like, listen, we've got something good here, just work on that. And do whatever you want to do on the side. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like it's all to do with. I feel like it's all to do with actually having like some sort of like structure. You hear what I'm saying? Some sort of guidance, innit?
Yeah. I think you're 100% correct. Because essentially, what you're trying to say is you're going to kind of raise them to adopt certain skills, isn't it, that they can use in whatever field that they're passionate about. Pretty much.
Man said, man on the phone. You know that? You know how cheeky that is. You know.
Huh?
Brent, change that right now.
What's your name, young man?
Jamal.
What's your name, young man?
Change that right now. Man on the phone. And what kind of Michael Jackson shit is this, bro? Man said, man on the phone.
You just got on the phone and just started talking. You didn't introduce yourself.
What's your name?
Yeah, but it's you, man, that you're meant to ask for my name. You hear what I'm saying? Man said good morning.
Boy.
I'm saying, what's wrong with you, man?
This is obviously a killie, but what's your name, please, young man? I apologize.
And he's still not trying to tell the name.
Jamal, Brent, man. Did you
Jamal,
not have coffee this morning? Your Weetabix or something? Yeah, Jamal, bro.
I shall change your name promptly.
Yeah, man on the phone, you know what? You want me to start singing like Michael Jackson or something, bro? Look in the mirror and that.
I can't like that. I think that sounds nicer than.
What? Is that
No,
your
I
gang?
think that's nice.
What is?
Man on the phone. I think
Nicer than what?
It's nice.
Nicer than what?
There was
name.
no R.
Yeah. You see what it is, yeah? Whoever said that, you got problems with me still.
Don't try to anyone coming here talk about whoever said that. At me, Jamal, man on the phone, at me, okay?
Yeah, you're breaking up over there. I don't know what's happening with the connection. Brent, sort that out right now.
All right, man. All right, thank you, Jamal, man.
I hope you lot have a lovely day.
And you
Sure.
too,
Have a
honey.
blessed
Thank
day.
you.
Bye.
Thanks, bye. Kiddies have so nice manners. Said everything. He said, oh, have a lovely day.
So yeah, what do you guys think about what Jamal's saying? Because essentially, I think that is a good way of making sure that your family does keep the generational wealth, innit? Because you're not forcing them to actually do exactly what you did, but
Yeah, but you know what the issue is, though? I feel like there has to be some level of forcing them to do what you did. Okay. Unless you're alive enough to see that whatever they're doing is actually generating wealth.
Okay.
Do you get me? Because I think that you can. I'm not going to be that way with my kids. I'm not going to force my kids to do anything that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
I will give you guidance, and I'm going to be the mom where you have to come with me to that you're not just going to be just useless for the sake of being useless.
Yeah.
I need to know what it is that you're doing. I need to actively. It needs to make sense, right? But I think that if your child does something different to you, I don't know. I think that part of that generational wealth, from what I've seen anyway, in the conversations that we tend to have in society, is that it has to be on that same path. Because if you do another path, then like that could fail. There's so many things that could come from it. To be fair, I am thinking of this from the white people, like what white people deem as generational wealth. When there's a family where the dad was a farmer, again, that's the best I can think of.
Yeah.
You can't come and say you're trying to be an artist or you're going to be a farmer and an artist on the side. It's like this is it.
Yeah.
This is the path that's been set for you, kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'll come back to that.
Morning,
it's Proverbs.
morning, Proverbs. How are you?
Proverbs.
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Right. We're looking at this from the perspective, and I've seen some of the comments where we're talking about Rothschilds and big numbers. But I'm going to give you a simplistic example. Back in the 80s, my family is originally from Kenya. My dad bought a farm for a few £1,000 sterling. He had that farm. He rented it out for years. My dad also had other kids, as well as with my mum. When he died, he left that farm to his kids. So there were 8 of us who had to decide what to do with that farm. So we put it to a vote, and we decided to keep it renting until we all decided what we wanted to do. Now, there's eight different people, and it was the majority vote that we decided on. Now, we didn't even know the value of that farm, what was done with it. We kept it for 10 years, and we've decided now, with a majority vote, to sell it. Now, that farm that he bought back in the 80s is worth more than 7 figures. So now we've all decided to sell it. Now that for me is generational wealth. And what that can do, it provides each of us a certain amount of money. Once we sell it, we can put a deposit down on a flat either there or even bring our money here. If we've got kids, we can give them a start. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, generational wealth could be your mum and dad leaving you a house or a flat or something small. It's what you decide to do with it. And it's not only big numbers, because it can turn into big numbers. We're not farmers. Yeah. We didn't even know. All we did was take in the revenue each month, which at the time when my dad died, seemed like a very small amount of money, but we just split the money between us once the guy that was renting it paid us the money. But now we've looked into the land, we looked into the development that's happened around us, and this is in Kenya. And he bought this flat for this farm for a couple of thousand. You know, you can look at generational wealth in the Rothschilds and the big numbers, but you can also look at it, start small. And we don't always have to look at these big numbers, because, you know, as they say, from acorns, you get trees. So, you know, you have to look at it with what you can do within your means. Okay. And that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, I agree. Can I throw something back at you? Yeah. Would you still, because this came from your father, isn't it? So it's passed on to you, and then I guess your kids and stuff like that. So 2 generations, yeah. Would you still consider it generational wealth if, for example, you and your siblings, like you're saying, have taken the money, bought your kids homes or flats or whatever, and then your kids now go and just live regular jobs, but at least they just don't have a mortgage to pay? Is that still generational wealth? If for example, that's not really invested into anything, it's just their abode, and now they live in regular lives.
But investing into an abode is an investment. It's a lifetime investment. Even if they don't go and do anything with that, they've got a lifetime investment.
100% correct. But I'm just saying, would you still see it the same way?
Is it supposed to be that you create something that your kids can create wealth from as well? Like, not obviously, like that is generational wealth. Like, what are you leaving at? But then you said it, that's a one-off payment. I'm saying, is it more of having something there that's in place that continue to make money?
This is basically what I'm trying to get at.
I think that my father, one of the things my dad always said, and he did it in the UK and he did it here, is that property will make you money whatever you do, he always used to say you should invest in property. Yeah, properties can go up and can go down. So if by showing our kids, if I buy my child a flat, or I put a deposit and he has a lot of equity in it, he is being shown what my dad taught us.
Yeah.
This is where it came from. Now, what he does with that, he could go off and sell his flat and, go and do coke the rest of his life. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's being given the tools to know that look at your granddad who came here in the 60s, had nothing, was an educated man, drove a bus, he had to struggle. He bought houses here, and he bought a farm in Kenya for thousands of pounds. And this is what has come from it. We have to teach our children how to use that wealth and what they can do with it.
100%.
You know what? Sorry to cut you here. I think now maybe I'm more on the mindset of that is a bit different. Like having an asset to leave down to the family. Obviously, it's good and it's going to benefit them, but I feel like it's different from like an ongoing business that's going to stay in the family forever and generate money. I still think that that's different.
And so to cut you.
Unless you're, sorry to cut you. Unless the plan was to stay in farming. Like keep the farm, I don't know, expand it, stay in farming, so then you got a farm to pass down to your kids and boom, boom.
Yeah.
If that was the plan, then maybe I could say. If it's just going to sell it and take the one-off payment, then it's a good thing as well. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
Dope to have the asset, but I don't know if that's generational wealth.
I don't think my dad wanted us to, don't get me wrong, I think my dad probably wanted us to keep it. Probably wanted us to keep it and farm it.
Yeah.
But we're looking at the situation, what is the best thing to do with the asset.
Yeah.
So we could have kept it. We have other properties and land, and we could do that. But that is not what we're doing. I'm not a farmer. None of us are farmers.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, at the moment, we are not based in Kenya. If we were going to go and live in Kenya, because we've also given other people who are in the group, our siblings, if you want to continue with the farming, you can buy us all out. There is that option for those who want to farm. It's just it's got kind of by majority. What are we going to do? Do we want to farm? Do we want to continue that condition? Sorry.
And you see, Proverbs, I think this is what Lil Duval was getting at, because obviously I'm not saying it in any type of way where it's like you guys have done something wrong, right? I'm just saying it in the sense of, if you guys now say that some of your siblings can buy you out, you guys, let's just say 4 out of 8 of you, now do not have access to that particular thing, that asset that's going to generate you money. A lot of the time people think, you've got a property, that's an asset. I don't believe that. That's necessarily the case. If it's generating money, then it's an asset. If it's just somewhere you live, it's allowing you the opportunity to then, keep certain money in your pocket, this, that, and the third. But it's not an asset. You know what I'm saying? But
you don't think property is an asset?
I think it can be. I think it can be. I don't think every property is. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. I think it can definitely be an asset, and most times it is, but a lot of the time it's not. It's just something you just have.
Well, property is definitely an asset. It
not all
depends
property.
On how you use it.
Exactly.
On how you use it, yeah. And it depends on it depends on how much equity you got in your property, and it depends on how you use it. Yeah. But property can be a huge asset to you. This is how most people buying one property can end up with 20 properties.
Exactly.
Because they know how to use the asset. And I'm saying that if my son is given that asset, he could use his equity to buy a business and do what he wants to do. And it may not be in the field of farming, it may not be, everybody has the option. What I'm saying about generational wealth is that we can't always look at these great big numbers like the Bezos and the Soros. You have to. People like Richard Branson did not start out with an airline. They started out with small things and different things that they invested their money into, and some things were failures.
100%.
So it's not always about continuing a family line, because Richard Branson's family line was not an airline.
Yeah, but remember, Richard Branson, it's too early to say if he has generational wealth that will last for generations. He was the first person in his family to be rich. You know what I'm saying? And like you rightly said, for example, if you and your siblings' children now use that money to buy flats, and they don't buy the second, the third, the fourth, the 20th flat, and it's just a home that they live in. That's not an asset. It's not making him or her any money. But like you said, you're now given the tools, and you can use it to make money. The difference is, however, if you guys had kept the land, if you had kept the land right in your father's name or in you guys' name or whatever, and you just kept the land, you guys could potentially make a decision where it's like you guys could use a percentage of it, but you keep a percentage of that land that nobody has the right to sell. Regardless of your decisions going forward, there will always be an asset that will make the family money. Do you get where I'm coming from? But if you all decide to sell it and you all just buy properties, yes, properties, that's cool. We got property. We don't need to worry about rent. Yes, I don't need to worry about uni fees. But where's the generation of money? You know what I'm saying? It can stop right there.
The way I see it, and the way some of the families see it, and I'm not saying that we're not in agreement.
Yeah.
It's a bit like when you buy a stock. Yeah.
Yes.
If you buy a stock, like for example, years and years ago, before the game group shops were a stock that was worth 30 pence before they became the game group. If you invested in that stock at 30 pence, you could have got out at £5.
Yeah.
It's what you deem that asset, whether you think that asset has made you enough money to move on to something else. Because always keep holding on to something, that asset could depreciate. That land where that farm is, that was bought for thousands of pounds, very small thousands of pounds, is now worth a hell of a lot more. Do we know what's going to happen going forward? Do we know what's going to happen with the politics? Do we know whether people are going to come and seize land and do other things? Because we are not based there.
Yeah,
therefore, is it a sensible thing to hold on to an asset when you're not a farmer and you're not there, based there, when we've rented it out successfully to a man who's farmed it for 10 years and paid the money? Going forward, do we know what our kids, if we put all this in our kids' names and they go over there and they just mess it up, that asset is worthless. That what our father has left us that has accrued a lot, it's not worth anything.
Yeah, 100%.
So for me, I look at these things like it was an investment. We didn't see the investment. We didn't see the point of having it at the time. Over the 10 years, we have seen the value of that investment. Now we're looking at what we can do with that investment and use it to do other things. Some people, not everybody is going to take that money and put a deposit on their flat for their kids. I'm saying that's what I could possibly do. I could also possibly go and buy a business and start something else. I don't know. I just think that you have to look at what is that asset worth to you? What can you do with it? Yeah. And is it practical to keep it? Or could you actually possibly depreciate that asset by holding on to it any further? That's the way I look at it.
I think, 100%. I definitely agree with you in terms of what the asset can afford you and stuff. So, yeah, we're definitely on the same page there. But thank you very much for calling in, Prophet.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, see ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, we don't have much time, so I think we might have to wrap this up, man, and start maybe a part 2 another time. But I think there's one more thing I was going to ask you. How much are you guys willing to sacrifice for generational wealth? That's the last thing I'd say. In terms of your happiness, in terms of your, in terms of your freedoms to maybe just satisfy your own gratifications and stuff? Or do you feel like, generational wealth, let that generation take care of themselves type thing?
For example,
if I had more kids.
Kevin said that he's just going to make sure his children have a good education.
Okay.
Everything else, he's keeping or spending.
If I had more kids, if I had like a big family, like proper football team worth of youths and that, then I'd be on risking it all. Like family time, like everything.
Yeah.
But again though, it's dangerous because what are they gonna do with what I leave?
This is it. This is it.
Thing.
No. Actually, no. They're gonna be raised right, man. They're gonna look after it. You get me? They're gonna take it.
there.
They're gonna take it well. You get me? But yeah, if I had a big flock, what's the name? What do you call bare kids? Gaggle.
A village.
Village. Village. If I had a village of babies. Then yeah, I might risk it all for them, man. Yeah, I don't mind a bit of hard work anyway. You get me?
This is
Yeah.
it.
What's risking it all though?
I'm saying like time,
Happiness.
happiness, time, like
Okay.
grind mode, like yeah, you ain't gonna see me, man. Like you're gonna be rich one day though.
Yeah.
Don't watch that. I got you. You get me? You gotta put it in.
Yeah, I think with me, like, I'm a hard worker, so that I will do. But you guys already know where I stand. I can't risk my happiness. I can't sacrifice my happiness for nothing. Obviously, there's like, I'm more of, like, I can deal with, well, I live by deferred gratification. So I don't look for things that, I don't necessarily subscribe to things that can get me, what it is I want right now. I'm fine for me to work and wait for things to just get that gratification later.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Discipline, I can do all of that stuff. But I think if it's a thing where I'm doing all these things where I'm miserable in life, I can't live in misery. I can't live miserable. I can't live hating my life. So that is always with everything in life. That's always where I'll draw the line.
Okay.
When it comes to me hating the life I'm living. But apart from that, I can sacrifice anything that needs to be sacrificed.
Yeah, if it's for my kids, then yeah, I'm gonna grind for my kids
Yeah.
and make sure that when they're at a certain age, I can give them a certain amount of money. And when I'm not
real
here,
grind, like missing recitals, football matches,
Yeah, I can't do
not
that.
there to tuck in at night, like.
but I don't see, like, I'm very good at multitasking. Innit? I feel like I can grind and still be there for my kids. I don't have to disappear. I don't have to be an absentee father to make money.
I don't know because
But
a lot of people
are, though.
a lot of people who work to that level that we're talking about and that are successful,
They're missing
they're
things.
workaholics, bro.
Like
They're missing things, bro.
The birthdays
Like,
are
you're
not there for it because they've got
that's
a work
that's
trip.
not ideal. That's some fairy tale shit. Like, unless I can multitask and balance and right.
No.
To get to that level,
No, hear me out. I can. I'm not saying I'm going to be there for every single thing.
But you're not going to miss it
I'm
all.
going to be present. Yes, I can grind and be a good father at the same time. Yes, I can.
It's funny because that's actually one of my things, like, in terms of a partner. Like, obviously, I want someone who works hard, you're not a bum, whatever. But I also want, like, family things to always be priority for you. Because I think that you missing stuff, your kids are not going to remember that you were there, that you weren't here at this recital, at this birthday, whatever, because you're building generational wealth for them. All they're going to remember is that you weren't here. And that's what it is that affects kids.
And also, people who have regular dads miss stuff. Like,
Not much more.
my dad came to one football game my whole life. I ain't got generational wealth.
Yeah.
You don't have. It doesn't matter.
yeah, but two people in that same position can feel totally different.
Different, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a man knowing that my dad missed everything and because he just wanted to miss everything is different to me. Getting a certain age, and be like, my dad missed everything, and that's why I have all this.
But you know, that's hindsight.
You know what I'm
And
trying to say?
also-
And by the time that hindsight hits them, you're dead in the grave. Don't make a difference.
And also,
No,
I
when
ain't
you
talking
get
about
old enough, you can make your own mind of it. They're decisions that you'll make again for yourself. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Do you know? I think what it comes down to, you gotta know what kind of kids you have. Some kids, it will affect them that you're not there.
Yeah.
And then some kids, they don't even care. They didn't even notice you were there. They're the star of the show anyway. Do you get me? So I think you got to know you just got to know your kids. But for me, because of the kind of person I am, like, I will sacrifice anything to the point of not being there for my kids for something. Even though I'm going out, I'm off to make money that they would buy whatever they want to buy. I just think that I'd rather give them that love and that attention. Like, that doesn't trump anything for me. That doesn't trump. Yeah, if we end up, if you don't have generational wealth, but all you know is that your mum loved you and she was there for absolutely everything and she did everything she needed to do. For me, my job is done as a mother.
I'm not
so
gonna lie
what do
though.
you put in it? Like, if you got a business there, so you're saying you're not gonna nothing gonna trump the love for your child and they got something to do, you want to support them. All right, cool.
Yeah.
The love and support what you wanted to do for their recital, wherever it may be. They got ambitions to sing and they got to sing somewhere, but you're a businesswoman.
Yeah.
And the meeting that you got opportunities, 6-figure deal.
Yeah.
Are you gonna still go to talk about all this love and foolishness, or are you gonna go and pattern up the deal?
So don't brand my love as foolishness.
No, but the
I'm
thing
just
is-
saying,
the
that.
thing is, it's good parenting because I don't feel like good parenting means you have to be there for every single thing. That's
No,
not-
I hear that, but
that's
what I'm
the way
trying to
I
say
see
is,
it.
what kind of price do you? Is there a price on the love?
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying, if it was
obviously,
a $5,000 deal, you're like, nah, I think that, and I'm gonna go to my.
Yeah, but obviously you weigh everything up though. Like, if it's a thing where this is something that can change say we're living in a 1-bedroom house, and then attending this meeting, and I'm guaranteed to get this deal that's gonna change things for us. Of course, I can make up to my kids everywhere, but the way you were saying it was that like grind mode means that is the only thing you're focused on. You're not attending recitals. You're not attending this and that.
You can still do both. You can find the
I
balance.
can't live like that.
You know, the thing is though, when you say, "Oh, make up to my kids," like missing their first show at I don't know, Christmas recital. How do you make that up though?
This is what I'm saying.
The first is gone.
But this is what I'm saying. No, but this is what I'm saying, that
thing
you've
is-
got to weigh things up. If it's a first, I'm not going to miss a first.
Okay, so just to add a scenario to this,
Yeah.
The child not even going to remember, man. You think my 2-year-old
That's what
child's
you're
going to
thinking,
remember?
But you're
I'll
not-
tell him, I was there.
That's what you think. Do you know what?
Of course I was there.
Do you know what
I wasn't there.
randomly? Do you know what I was why I randomly remembered the other day? Like people that let me down when I was younger. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna come pick you up. We're gonna go here." It came to me randomly.
See,
Don't remember.
And as a parent, it's not going to be random because you see a reminder every day.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? But okay, you made a decision. You're like family, husband, kids. I'm definitely going to be at this recital.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've already got my PR, PA, whatever to sort out my thingy. This, that, and the third. The meeting goes over, right? This is a multi-million-pound contract, right? Are you going to that recital?
I'll be honest with you. I will always I will just try and make things work.
Or just go to the next one. Go to the next one. But you got,
It depends,
you
though.
got a big deal
No.
here.
If I've been if I've been helping If I've been helping my child like practice,
Yes.
we've been singing the songs
All of
together,
that,
like all of that emotional stuff,
Yeah.
and then missing that.
No, but okay,
man.
cool.
I've been disappointed as a kid.
If
I'm not putting my kids through
if
that.
my son played football, right, and he had practice on a weekday and he had a game every single weekend,
Yeah.
I can miss a couple to make some money for him. This is for you.
that's fine.
What if he's in the FA Cup final?
That's a final. I'm gonna make the final. If it's a final, that's a final. That's me using my own discretion.
Yeah,
This is an important game now.
But then
I've got to be there.
I ain't missing this, innit?
pounds.
Huh? Zoom,
multi-million
baby.
pound-
Skype. I'll be on the way like this in the car.
That's a good one though. Champions League final, multi-million-pound deal on the line.
Yeah, but
Like
that,
this
yeah,
deal
but that means
is-
my son's big then. You're saying my son's an adult then.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
What? So adults
done
don't
your
need
job.
the parents to show up for them.
So you're telling me that my 25-year-old son who's in Champions League final is going to cry if I'm not there?
Do you guys know that? Do you guys know how emotions work?
FA Youth Cup. That's big. That's
Yeah,
big
that's
for that
huge.
age. That's
Yeah,
huge.
youth.
No, but that's
Okay,
huge
yeah,
for that
youth.
age.
Okay,
FA
cool.
Youth Cup.
Yeah.
FA Youth Cup.
I'm
He's
there.
in the final.
I'm there.
£2 million deal on the
Not
line.
2 million, 10 million.
10 million. £10 million contract.
Because he's over doing multi-million for me. Multi-million. Hella millions.
What? Phone call? Look at your phone call.
You know,
Nah.
you either
Nah.
go to the game or
You're
you
going
go
to the game
meeting.
or you're going to get your 10 million.
Yeah.
How rich am I already?
Well, you
Bro, 10 million is 10
big
million,
man.
baby.
No, but how rich am I?
Exactly,
How
yeah.
rich am I? Okay, yeah, but
I don't know, I don't know.
But Jay-Z
Okay,
spent $500 million on a car. Like, am I that rich?
You've got
Yeah,
about,
but you know rich people, yeah, like every billion counts. That's
That's
how you
true,
stay
man.
rich.
No, but
That's
you
how
said,
you
even
stay
if-
rich.
no, but you said 10 million though. And if I'm a billionaire, then I might be able to let 10 million
Okay,
slide.
you're not a billionaire. You're 100,000 there.
yeah.
100,000 there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're saying there's a 10 million deal.
Or
on the
you're
line.
1 millionaire and now you got 15 million
FA Cup.
deal.
Listen, bruv, I've got cousins that can go in my place still. I'll send Uncle such and such to the game.
Alright, guys, yeah. Last
Gotta make this bread, nigga.
last question before we go, yeah. This may seem like a very stupid question, but I just want to ask anyway.
This is why you can't be a single parent, by the way. This is why I can't, because sorry.
You see, anyway. But yeah, would you give all your wealth to your children? Or will you give it?
No.
Okay, cool. Expand, please.
You don't need all of that.
Okay, so what would you do with the rest
Well, you guys know me though. I have dreams of orphanages and all these things. I'm going to use my money for like different things.
Okay.
My kids are not going to think that because I'm rich, they're rich. No, honey. You
I'll give
get
it
your
to
money
them.
up.
Yeah.
I'm not
Everything.
going to give
Yeah,
all
if
my
not-
money
if-
to my
if-
kids.
if that's my kids, man.
You can't
Like,
take it with
what's
you.
the point?
No,
My
because
dad and my
no.
mum was rich and they were trying to do all that foolishness. I think they were fucking idiots. I hate that. I'll be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Nah, man. There's other
Like, he's
people.
not taking a piss or something.
There's
I'm
other
not
people
saying why
that I
I'm
care for
alive.
outside of my children. I can't. There's other people I care for in my life outside of my children.
If
My
my parent, I couldn't be like a trust fund baby. Like, I'll be horrid. Like me,
You be a Tariq.
I'll be
You
entitled.
never
What?
be a Tariq.
Nigga, I'm rich, bitch. What's man talking about?
You will be a Tariq.
I'd be a
through.
tyrant.
To be fair, depending on how rich I am, I might give money to my nieces and nephews as well, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Not-
There's
yeah,
there's
of
more
course.
than my
Not just my
there's
kids.
more than my
Yeah, yeah,
kids.
of course.
Yeah.
Sorry, when I mean kids, I mean like family, yeah. But reason why I ask is because Bill
that.
Gates, Warren Buffett, some of the richest people in the world, they're giving 99% of their money wealth to charity.
Shaq don't want to give his kids nothing as well, innit?
There you go.
They got to learn something.
Yeah, but
Shaq
they were
saying
doing
they
well
got,
anyway.
they got to get
They were
degrees
playing
and things.
basketball.
Shaq ain't giving them nothing.
Nothing.
They were talented anyway. They got Shawnee on their side.
Yeah.
That's the same
Well,
thing that's making
how
us
are
do
you
well.
saying they have to get degrees and crap? The basics. Go and get an education.
Listen, he said love and foolishness. I don't know why you're
What?
shocked by degree and crap. He said love and foolishness.
No, I don't think Shaq's not giving his kids money. He's basically saying that I'm rich.
Yeah.
You're not rich.
No,
Yeah.
guys.
This is my
Go and
money.
learn how to look after this money.
Yeah.
Yeah, because LL Cool J does that as well. He was like, when his kids try to be like, first of all, you're Hollywood. Yes, you live in Hollywood, but first of all, I'm rich.
Yeah, I'll definitely
You're
have that same
for real.
stance.
Kind of thing, yeah, you
walk
have
around
to
like
discipline
you
them.
have money. Oh, you're 14. No, I'm rich.
No, exactly.
Yeah, but in
Yeah,
terms
see,
of
I'm
your
not doing
will,
that.
though,
I'm not
Get your
doing that,
money
man. You're rich, son. You know how hard I work. Don't let these people talk. You're rich, okay? You are
Everybody
rich.
else know.
Yeah, you let
You're
everybody
rich,
know
son.
you are rich, son.
I have to,
You crazy.
I have to keep my kids grounded. Don't go
man.
out and
Nah,
Yeah.
man.
run amok.
Exactly.
Nah.
Now they're looking down on people.
You think I've
doing
done all
foolishness.
this for no reason? I can't take it with me.
Yeah, but
I can't even- man.
we ain't talking about you not giving it to them. We're talking about
No,
the
no,
way.
No, I'm saying I
they
want
act.
to used to flex. I'm saying this
He
is
knows
flex.
exactly what we're talking about.
I know exactly
He
what
knows
you're talking
exactly
about.
what
Fair enough.
This guy, you're raising killies. Ridiculous.
So,
I said, you're rich, son.
So-
Don't
so-
you ever forget it.
so would you guys? Do you guys disagree with Bill Gates and Warren Buffett?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a bit
Yeah.
excessive.
Like, do your charitable work
but
while
then
you're here.
though-
Don't have to leave your whole.
I mean, they're still doing
No, but
charitable
then
work now,
though,
though. But they
The
just
99,
believe
the 1% the kids have, that's probably a big 1%.
that's exactly what I was going to. They're
That's a
millionaires.
life-changing
They're still
1%.
millionaires.
And
They're
they
still
might know their
millionaires.
kids better than us, mate.
Yeah, because if your kid's a dickhead, you ain't getting nothing.
She would rather give it to charity.
I'm gonna be giving my money, like I'm gonna be spending my money places anyway. Listen, that's my last act before I die.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go to the pearly gates and be like, oh, did you give charity? No, I didn't. Nah, man.
But all these rich people, all of them give to charity, though.
Yeah.
All of them.
tax write-offs.
Some of them, exactly. That's
but,
what I did.
But people still benefit from.
Yeah, no, I'm
you know what I'm
joking.
saying.
Yeah.
So
No, I wasn't. The people do, yeah. I think, but I'm on Eustace wave in terms of like my kids have to be grounded. You have to appreciate things. Just because yes, we're well off and whatever, you have to still appreciate life. You have to understand that that you work hard for money. Nothing is given for you. Like all the traits that help me be rich,
Yeah.
you need to have those too. Because anything could happen. I can leave all the money to you for whatever. You could make a bad business deal. And people do that all the time. Doesn't mean you're less than smart or anything, but anything could happen. And then you don't have the money. But then because I didn't raise you with the qualities for you to make money again or to know how to stand in this situation, now you're just broke for life.
Yeah.
I'd
Nah,
feel
man.
like such a failure if my children were walking around this earth thinking that they were literally better than everybody else.
Yeah, man.
yeah, 100%.
I'm not better than everybody, but richer than them.
That's still better in some people's eyes.
You know what? One last
You're
question.
not
One last
better.
question. One
They're
last
just
question
broke.
to everyone here. Yeah. Your money, you can give 99. You can give 99% to your children, right? And 1% goes to this particular thing I'm going to tell you in a minute. Or
You really come up with these, isn't it? Your brain is on overdrive. I love it.
so this particular thing, is basically a country. It's an impoverished country, right? But your 99% of your wealth could change that completely. So let's just say, let's make it real. Let's say Senegal.
Nigeria.
Let's do, forget Nigeria. Senegal. Let's say Senegal. Yeah, Senegal. If they get 99% of your money, they are now sorted. There's no
They're like
debt.
Dubai now.
There's no poverty. They won't be Dubai, but they'll basically be. There's no poverty at all, right?
For this generation or years to come.
Not from this generation going forward.
Okay.
Because now they don't need to pay back stupid money to colonizers and things of that nature, right? And you give your child 1%, or would you give your children 99% and give Senegal only 1%? And obviously, it doesn't really do much for Senegal.
The thing is, obviously, like I'm not from Senegal, innit? So I don't feel any type of attachment to Senegal. So I think it's best you choose Nigeria.
I don't know me. They don't know me. Listen, I don't know them. They don't know me.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, because in
your
my mind, I
home
was thinking,
country.
this is easy for me.
Yeah.
This is a doozy.
I don't know
Your
what that
home
is.
country. Your home country.
Yeah, I'm giving Nigeria my money then. If I can
99%.
if I can change,
Aye.
Yeah.
okay, cool. I'll be eliminating corruption and stuff.
Yeah.
So the money I give, it changes the whole of Nigeria now. No more corruption, no more fraud, no more 419. The country's gonna be great. It's gonna
I mean, you're
flourish.
always going to get human
Yeah.
beings. You know what I mean?
And stipulation is that
Okay.
you can make your
Stipulations.
son or daughter kings and queens in there.
Brent,
That could be part of the package.
Brent, I was going to say, if the only way I'm giving 99% is that my generational wealth will be that we have ownership of that land.
Yeah, no, I'm going to give the wealth to Nige.
You
Like-
like Nigerians for real.
Listen, it's in the DNA. There's no way I'm just giving the money, no clauses, no nothing. Nah, add in the contract. My kids and the kids and the kids down the line will own land, will own a state. We might even get a state named after us. The manuals, get it out. Is that kind of vibe? Absolutely.
All right, cool. What about you, Marks? You saving Jamaica?
He's not from Jamaica.
Where am I from? Nah, I ain't saving them, man.
All right, cool. What about you, Brent?
Yes.
Okay.
But like I said, I am going to make sure that my lineage is sorted like forever. So it kills two birds, I guess.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
What are you doing, man?
Huh?
What are you doing?
Only Yoruba land.
Thank you very much. The rest of them, no.
Damn, you hear that, Chijoke? You ain't saving your people. Ridiculous.
Nah, they can come and trade with us. No, I'm joking.
That's too
I think I would.
Yeah.
I'll save them. Yeah, 100%.
That's interesting. We'll all have generational wealth in Jesus' name.
Amen to that.
Amen to that. All right, let's get into our next headlines.
All right, so our next headline is about racism in the NHS. So apparently, The Independent has done a report and they've revealed that a third of black and ethnic minority health staff have suffered racism or bullying as the NHS fails to address systemic levels of discrimination. Levels of bullying and harassment of minority workers have not improved in the past 5 years, with almost 30% saying that they've been targeted in the past year compared to 20% of white staff. Despite being 1/4 of the workforce, minority ethnic staff make up just 10% of the most senior positions. One nurse told The Independent she was forced to leave her job following a campaign of bullying, while another, who has left for the private sector, said her mental health was hugely impacted by the discrimination she experienced. Equality for Black Nurses, which is a membership organisation founded by Naomi Bennett in 2020, has launched 200 cases of alleged racism against a number of NHS trusts since it was set up. So this is what she said. She said, however, there is a clear difference in experiences when comparing black nurses' difficulties to white nurses. She added that racism within the NHS was systemic and deeply embedded, and said structures within the organisation allowed patterns of behaviour to be repeated. She also said that racism is driving nurses out of the NHS. And last thing she said was, I see day in and day out the effects of racial bullying and how this impacts nurses across the UK. The bullying of black nurses has reached epidemic levels and goes unchallenged. And the last headline is about, did you guys hear about Black Boy Lane in North London?
Yeah,
Yes,
so
it's wild.
Yeah, cool. So, a controversial renamed North London street has had one of its new signs graffitied over within 24 hours of being put up. So, Black Boy Lane in Tottenham was officially renamed La Rose Lane on Monday, January 23rd, following a council review after anti-racism protests in 2020. Street signs were unveiled on Monday, but by Tuesday morning, one had already been graffitied over with the new name. Harrogate residents were consulted on a name change in the wake of the death of George Floyd and the subsequent Black Lives Matter protests, but the council did admit that significant numbers of residents were opposed to the name change. So, significant, yeah.
It might have kept because they put the new name, then they put formerly known as
Just
in
underneath.
brackets. It looked
But
messy.
they do that sometimes, you know.
Yeah, but,
but isn't it-
I don't see the point of renaming it
Yeah.
if the original name is going to be underneath.
Yeah, and
No, I
if you're
think
taking
it's-
away the
Why not just keep it as the real name then?
yeah,
As the original name, sorry.
I think it's just for those people who are used to Black Boy Lane. So let's just say you left the country 4 years ago, you
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, but
You know
it's
what
not
I'm
a
saying?
new lane. Everyone goes through that. When you go to an area,
That's-
you haven't been in the country for a
you move
time.
house, you acclimatize to the new street name.
Exactly. Like
Alright.
you can't say because are they taking it away because it's controversial, right?
yes, yeah.
So
yeah.
you can't leave the controversy there.
The name's still there. It says
It's still
formerly known
there.
as Black Boy Lane, right underneath.
No, that's very. They should have left it. They should have left it.
Okay.
Them empty gestures there.
Well, the street appears to have been named Black Boy Lane in reference to the nearby Black Boy pub, with the pub's name tracing back to the late 17th century. Obviously, this marked the time when Britain was involved in the transatlantic slave trade. And although the historical origins of the pub's name is not clear, the council noted that during the 20th century, the pub's sign depicted a racially caricatured image of a black person until it was replaced as a result of pressure from the local residents in the 1980s. They also added that the terms black boy or boy, when referring to black men, have historically been used as racist terms to belittle black males and signal they are worth less than their white male counterparts. But LaRose Lane celebrates John LaRose, who was a former Haringey resident, publisher, essayist, poet, and champion of black history and equality. He's part of the Caribbean tradition of radical and revolutionary activism, whose input has reverberated across continents. So yeah.
Yeah, they're very cheeky for that.
What's it called? Quickly, did you guys talk about the Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks statue?
No, we didn't, you know.
Okay.
What happened
We
to it?
didn't. Basically, there's a statue that how do I explain it? Basically, there's a statue of
Okay.
Martin Luther King hugging.
It's terrible.
Hugging Rosa.
So there's a picture of Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks embracing. There's a hug. Yeah. But they made a statue of it. But the statue is just their arms.
Yeah, so there's no this part.
There's no head.
that part.
So you don't know who's hugging.
There's no beneath. It's just the arms. I think it's a terrible idea. Like, I
I
think
think
it's a terrible idea.
I think it came across crap, but I understand the sentiment behind it. Obviously, just
But then you-
know
Yeah,
what
the
I mean?
two people
the
there.
sentiment is removed because they removed their heads. It's
Yeah.
just
We don't know whose arms.
even when it was
those
first
are.
unveiled, I couldn't even figure out what it was at
What it
first.
was,
I was
yeah,
thinking,
it's true.
what is that? Is that? It was so confusing to me until I had to do the research.
Yeah,
I'm like, who decided this was the right way to go? Like, I feel so strongly about this. It's terrible. It's a terrible idea.
Good man, said Unity link. Yeah, that's weird. Gosh. All these gestures anyway. Let's get
There you
into
go.
word.
Brent put it up on the screen.
Oh, is it? Oh, that looks weird.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
looks like the thing from Adam's Family.
It looks like a ghoul, a monster.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, bad idea.
What? That's very weird.
Very bad idea. They should have just, the actual picture itself is so nice. They should have just made that picture
Yeah.
into the statue. No?
Yeah, that looks scary.
You're not right.
Nah, it ain't right. It ain't. That's not it. Right, let's get into word on road. All right, for the girlies, for the girls, Chloë Bailey has finally announced her first album. So it's called In Pieces. She had like a whole visual thing going on. Do you know what? Big up every time, big up their hairstylist. Because these girls actually have locks. And they have every single hairstyle you could ever think about. They're amazing. The person is stupid talented. But yeah, so her first album's going to be coming out in March of this year. And it's called In Pieces. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing it because I think her singles have been really good. And I love the fact that as like she's branched out obviously as a solo artist. So if you don't know, she's part of a group, Chloe and Halle, with her younger sister Halle, the black Ariel, and in The Little Mermaid. And their mentor is Beyonce. And you can always hear Beyonce's like influence. Like you can see it in their work ethic. You can hear it in the way they talk, in the way they talk actually in interviews. They're very, very well put together. You can hear it in their vocals and everything that they do. You can just see that influence there. I'm really looking forward to it. Mr. Rotation, would you be covering for the girls?
We might have to
Don't let me down now.
tag you in on that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah?
let you cover that album. No, I listened to it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, if that was ever Mark's never listened to it. Mark's like, he said, you let me know. And that's why I appreciate it. I praised you and Brent here yesterday. Because I asked these two
Yeah,
if I was in a pickle,
yeah.
what they would do. And I said, you know what, Brent and Yusuf don't count because I feel like you guys will be there for me.
Sensible people, yeah.
These two I didn't, that's the word I used. That's the word I used. So these two, I don't know where I'd go with it. But yeah, all right, yeah, so her album's out March 2023. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know, they haven't really said whether the band, as a group, they're done. Because obviously Halle's doing more acting stuff now. And Chloe's really on her baddie behaviour. So there's no word really on whether they're broken up. I feel like groups don't really want to announce they're broken up. It's like City Girls as well. Carisha's out here acting and her podcast and stuff like that. And then JT just does features. But no one's saying anything about whether or not you're together.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing. I think there's always that pressure when you break up as a group of, oh, you're going to have a reunion, you're going to have a reunion. So maybe that's a new thing we're doing these days. So that happened. Sorry, the dock is moving. And then also, still in music news, Justin Bieber has sold his music catalogue. So basically what he sold, let me give you the full thing. So he's basically sold his publishing, his royalties from his master recordings and also neighbouring rights, and he sold it for $200 million. And apparently, so it was bought by Hypnosis, yeah, Songs Capital. And basically, apparently, he's the highest, he's the person who sold the highest in terms of his generation.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's got a great catalogue anyway, and it covers like 290 titles in his entire catalogue. So everything he ever did from when he came out up until 31st of December 2021. And apparently, the founder of that company, basically, he's invested like $500 million in deals and trying to close deals. And to think that Justin Bieber is 200 million of that, that's absolutely amazing.
I read up on this a little bit.
Yeah.
And because to me, the figure's quite alarming because Justin Bieber is a massive, massive star. And I feel like...
Oh, you think it's low?
I think it's for his whole catalogue publishing. He's only 28 years old. For him to sell his publishing at this age it's not normal. So I read into it and I feel like this is what I read, that he needs the money.
He is ill.
He needs the money.
Yeah.
Something about some of his tours. He has some tours that he had to cancel. COVID messed up a few things for him. And he even had to downsize one of his tours from stadiums to arenas or something like that anyway.
Really?
Because if you think about Justin Bieber, like you said, in his generation, he's the biggest selling artist.
Yeah.
Right? 200 million for your whole entire catalogue at this age, it's unprecedented. So Sutton financially is...
Do you know what I think it is as well? Because remember I reported how he's not feeling well.
Yeah.
He's got this illness where like he's, I think one of his, he like lost feeling in one of his side of his face and stuff like that. And he was actually, so you know Chris Brown coming to O2, those are actually Justin Bieber's dates.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because my sister's a massive Justin Bieber, like it was, at one point my mum had to be like, listen, ma'am, you got a shrine up in your room. And her tickets, we got them like early last year.
Yeah.
And then obviously when the whole illness thing happened, he cancelled them.
Yeah.
I need to email them. They haven't given a refund for that.
Yeah.
But he basically cancelled them. And I think that's his illness, I think that could be part of it.
Apparently, he's going to use some of the money to pay some of the tour costs that he already incurred. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So maybe he needed an influx of cash. And the best way to get a large sum of money was to sell.
But then also, though, to be fair, Justin Bieber is now a Christian. Not saying for nothing. Yeah, he's baptized and everything. Like, he's so lovely. But I don't think he's making music like that anymore. He's not trying to be the heartthrob anymore. And when you think about it, I don't feel like the music he's made already, he's not making that music moving forward.
Yeah.
But that's such a good, that's a good, it's interesting actually. It's crazy. But his manager said about the sale, his manager said, I want to thank Merck and his entire Hypnosis team and all of our partners involved for working so hard to make this historic deal happen. He said, when Justin made the decision to make a catalogue deal, we quickly found the best partner to preserve and grow this amazing legacy, and that was Merck and Hypnosis. For over a decade now, Justin Bieber has entertained us and moved us with some of his biggest songs in the world. I'm so proud of him and all those involved over the years in helping amass this incredible body of work. Justin is truly a once-in-a-generation artist, and that is reflected and acknowledged by the magnitude of this deal. For 15 years, I have been grateful to witness this journey, and today I'm happy for those involved. Justin's greatness is just beginning. But yeah, that's actually very interesting, but we'll see how that works out and what comes from that. And then also, Black Excellence, Tems has been nominated for an Oscar. I'm so proud of her.
Well done, man.
Like, I'm just so damn proud of her. So she's been nominated with Rihanna for the Best Original Song, and that was Lift Me Up from Black Panther. Sick. She actually wrote the song, and obviously she performed it as well, you could hear. I feel like when she always reminded me of Rihanna anyway. I would want to see music from her and Rihanna. Yeah. I reckon Rihanna's album, if it ever comes. Actually, no, she is in the studio. Sorry, she's in the studio. A$AP Rocky said in an interview the other day. But yeah, so I think that'd be really cool if Tems was on the album with her. But no, big up Tems every single time. That's absolutely amazing. And then so I told you guys about the food critic from TikTok. He's actually a boxer in real life. Well, as if TikTok is not real life. Well, some of you think it's real life. You get what I mean? His normal job outside of being a food critic is he's a boxer, Keith Lee. And I told you guys about how he changed this. He basically goes to restaurants and he just does a review on them. And he did this for this pizzeria in America. And literally the man is just booked up. Like the queue was going round and round the block. It was a whole absolutely amazing. And yeah, basically some woman's trying to, not a black woman trying to bring a black man down. I couldn't believe it. So basically, yeah, relax. Basically, basically you're popping and popping over there. Basically, yeah. She said how she is a writer. She writes shows, comes up with ideas and concepts for shows or whatever. And when she writes it, she presents it, she sells it to either sells it to a network or pitches it to a network. They pick it up, it becomes a show, whatever. She's got an Emmy. She said she's won awards and Emmys and da. But one thing about the internet, they're going to find receipts. And someone said to me, it's only one. You've only got one Emmy. I mean, that's one Emmy than most of the world have. But still, she was talking too much that it's like, okay, it's only one Emmy. But anyways, so basically she said, yeah, she did a TikTok and she was just like, basically, I'm so disappointed and I'm upset because basically there's this very well-beloved food critic and I reached out to him to let him know this idea. We spoke about the idea and then he declined the idea with me, but he's gone on to basically do the idea. So essentially, she's trying to say this food critic, she didn't say any names, so this beloved food critic stole her idea. So the thing is, this is where the issue starts to arise because she said no names, remember? But in the comments, people were like, oh, Keith Lee. And sis was liking the comments that was saying Keith Lee and liking everything that was pointing at Keith Lee. So he posts that he's a lovely Christian man and he makes it clear that all his blessings come from Jesus, come from God, and the light of God is around this man. You cannot bring him down, basically, right? And obviously he's had a lot of opportunities since this happened and he's still doing his thing. And he was saying so basically what he started doing now as well is that he goes to like restaurants or whatever, but because some people kind of know where he's like got like 10 million followers now. It's crazy. But because some people know who he is, he now has started dressing up as like a different person. Okay. And then even that he was bigging up his sister because he was like, my sister's the one who's coming up with these creative looks where I don't even look like myself kind of thing. So he then does a video and he was like, I'm going to address this because people are in my comments calling me a thief, calling me this and all sorts of names. I'm going to address this and make it clear that I did not do what is being said I did. And he was like, this is to this woman. He was like, first of all, yeah, when I went viral the way I did, there's hella people in my comments. Who wanted to reach out, who wanted to work with me, who had ideas for me. He said, you DM'd me, and when you DM'd me, when you left a comment, and then I messaged you to tell you to email me, blah, blah, blah. He DM'd her after the comment. Fair. Then he said, I told you as well that I had a meeting, the day you told me, to say it was like the 13th of December. He said, I made it clear to you that I had a meeting on the 12th of December, someone else who wanted to pitch me a show, and I also had another meeting on the 14th. Either side of the meeting with you, I had meetings, whatever. And he said, furthermore, the idea you came up with, I've got hella comments with the same idea. Essentially, the idea is not unique to your brain alone, Miss Little Lady. Do you get what I mean? And he said the meeting I actually had the day before I was meant to meet you was the same idea. And those are people that I went with. Cool, that happens now. He just made it clear. He was like, I don't take from anybody. This is what it was. Everything I have is by the grace of God. I continue to work. I do this. I do that. This is the reason why I do what I do. Very lovely statement. Very clear. Very out there. Cool. She then comes back. Obviously, his sis must have been sleeping. Wakes up now. And the people are now in her comments talking about you liar kind of thing. Now they're coming for her. And that's the thing with social media. No one really tells their followers to go and attack people. People are weird and they just go and attack anyway. So people are now in the comments saying that she's a liar or whatever. And I guess, trigger warning, sorry. So I think she must have lost had a miscarriage or something or something like that. Or lost babies or whatever. And then this is the thing with internet. Some of you are weird and crazy. Someone's like, it's a good thing you lost them. That's mad. What? You don't say that to people. You don't say that to anybody. People are crazy. So anyways, now because that happened, she's now like, oh, you've got, like, obviously he didn't send people to go and cuss her. And he's not even the kind of guy to even do that. The way he is, his mannerisms, the way he talks, he's such a gentle soul. So anyways, she's now like, I've got people in my comments, camping in my comments, saying this and saying that. And she's like, this is not an apology video. I never mentioned his name. I didn't say it was him. And she was like, I like him. I like his content. He's doing really well. Basically, I didn't say it was him. So I don't even know what he's talking about. I don't know why. And she was like, oh, I didn't even give you enough of the idea for you to have stolen it. We never got to have the full meeting where I gave you the idea that you would have run off with it kind of thing. Yeah. And I was like, this is what I don't like. I like when people say something and they stand in it. I don't like when you double backtrack and you start to moonwalk. I don't like all that kind of stuff. Because when you didn't say a name, that's granted, that's fair. But when people were in your comments saying his name, you were liking those comments. And what she's done now, she's taken off all her comments and whatever, and just, you can't comment on her post anymore. You can't, none of that. But also that means you can't see the previous comments. So no one can see now.
To prove it.
To prove it. But people saw it. Too many people were coming out and saying that you were liking, and obviously that's why he would have responded as well, because you were insinuating it was me. So she's done all that foolishness anyway, but people are shy for her, and they're not checking for her, and hopefully she can get more Emmys in her bank. But I say all of this to say that when the glory of God is on somebody, you cannot cancel them. Really and truly. But he is doing absolutely amazing what he's doing, and he just continues to help like businesses. And it was so cute. I just saw one where basically he's allergic to shellfish. And because he wanted to review the restaurant anyway, he got his sister and his wife to do it. So cute. Very, very cute. But big up Keith Lee, doing amazing things. Guys, check out his TikTok. It's really, really cool. And I just love people that make an impact in the world like that. And then my next bit of news, also good news, is Paris Hilton has given birth. Well, no, sorry, take that back. Paris Hilton has had she's welcomed her first baby. And it's a boy. And they had him through a surrogate.
Okay.
And she said that it's always been my dream to be a mother. And I'm so happy that Carter's her husband, found each other. We are so excited to start our family together, and our hearts are exploding with love for our baby boy. And she posted a picture on Instagram yesterday, and she said, "You're already loved beyond words." And it's just absolutely beautiful. She's 41, and so is her husband. And it's nice that they get to have a child. I mean, they get to experience that. First.
I don't know why this popped in my head yet, but I was just thinking, with a surrogate, essentially you could have twins, right?
Yeah, you could do.
Yeah. As in, no, because I mean, you could...
You put the eggs together and stuff like that.
No, I meant as in 2 surrogates.
Yeah, get it. Yeah, if you're in the canon, yeah, you could do. Be greedy though.
Yeah, because obviously, like, if you just put 2 eggs in there, obviously, it depends on if it takes and all that type of stuff. Yeah. But if you wanted 2 kids...
At the same time.
You mean 2 separate women,
yeah,
2 separate babies, and they'll be twins?
Ghetto twins.
Okay.
Obviously, it won't be like real life twins, but what I mean is like...
Yeah. But you have 2 kids. They wouldn't be twins. No, they wouldn't be twins.
Wouldn't it just be siblings?
Because not from the same woman.
Yeah.
But they're ghetto. They're literally called ghetto twins. When you have kids, if you have 2 kids with separate women and they're born like the same time or around the same time, they're called ghetto twins.
No, but
that actual thing, ghetto twins. Is that
it's like a slang though. It's not.
But with the surrogate, are you not using whose egg are you using?
Her egg, Paris's egg and
right?
the guy's sperm. Yeah.
So essentially, if now, for example, you got the egg, right?
But don't twins have to live in the same?
Yeah, but if you take 2 eggs and put them 2 separate women,
they're
not twins.
Yeah, they're not twins because
it's 2 separate.
Yeah, 2 separate eggs.
Yeah.
But don't they sometimes allow the fertilizer situation to develop first?
I'm not sure. Twins is 1 egg that splits in 2.
Yeah. No, not all the time. No.
Yeah, you can be twins because what you're saying is that they're just incubators.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, you could have 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
No, but isn't twins 1 egg?
No.
Yeah,
that splits into 2.
That's identical twins, but you don't. Not always, because sometimes the sperm can hit the egg. 2 different sperms hit the same egg.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So then they split, and then you've got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why you typically get the twins, or who were like boy and girl and stuff like that.
I can't lie. If that would actually qualify as twins, I might have to do that because I want twins so much. I want twins. Oh, I really want twins.
Do you care if they look alike, or do you just?
No, they're twins in my book.
Okay, cool.
They're gonna share cake.
Yeah, but
share birthday
if they don't
parties.
look alike, then that takes away the novelty of them being twins.
No, because not all twins look alike.
I know, and I don't look at them as twins.
See your fake twins. But congratulations to Paris Hilton on that. That's absolutely amazing. And then trigger warning on my next story. So basically, Mike Tyson, trigger warning for sexual assault. He's basically being sued for $5 million for allegedly raping a New York woman in the early 1990s.
Damn.
Yeah. So she's basically seeking $5 million in damages. She says that this situation has made her suffer from physical, psychological, and emotional injury over the years. She hasn't given an exact date, but she says it's early 1990s. She's also opted, which is apparently is around the same time as well, where Desiree Washington's another woman that accused him of rape, where apparently he raped that woman as well, allegedly. And actually he served like 3 years for that case, for Desiree's one. But yeah, so she's also opted to kind of keep her identity anonymous because she said that will just bring on a bunch of other stuff that she doesn't think she can deal with.
What's your thought? This is a callback to you guys' convo yesterday.
It is actually, yeah.
Because I was listening in patches, isn't it? What's your thoughts about someone who, this happened to you in the 90s?
Yeah.
And you've waited all this time. I mean,
I think because of like the things that to do with sexual assault, like being able to speak up, and when you actually feel ready to speak up, and when you have dealt with it enough to speak up, I'm not opposed to people speaking up about it whenever it is that they see fit. But I think that one of the not consequences, what's the word? One of the risks of speaking up later on is that you actually have to accept that they might not be convicted of it because of lack of evidence.
oh yeah, extreme lack of evidence.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm not opposed to anyone speaking up. If I'm on my deathbed at 95 and I decide I want to speak up about what happened to my 18, go for it, sis.
I hear that.
But unfortunately, one of the realities is that you may not get the justice that you feel like you deserve because they may not be able to find the evidence.
Yeah.
So I think that would be something that you have to kind of consider. But I'm gonna get my phone, iPad. All right. Sadly, that's one of the things.
Just saying Mike Tyson. Oh yeah.
That what I said?
No, yeah, because remember you were talking about the whole rape allegation and stuff, innit? Because yeah. No, I was going to mention something about the Mike Tyson thing.
What? Oh wait.
Sorry, because I speak very fast.
Oh.
I was looking for an emoji to put next to it. Like,
you gonna what?
You know, the running man.
She's
a runner, she's a track star. Yeah. Apologies, guys. I'm trying. Actually, I'm not trying. That's a lie. That's such a lie.
I'm confused. What are you apologizing for?
I ain't never, because you can speaking too fast.
Oh.
Sometimes people can't hear me. They don't understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to try to be more intentional and sound out all my words.
Don't slow down when you're clapping back though.
I couldn't. Good. I couldn't. That's when I really get on my Usain Bolt shit. But yeah, apologies, Hans. So Mike Tyson, so that's what's happening with that. I'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. The law firm that did take on her case did say that they had to, obviously they spoke to her, interviewed her, all that kind of stuff, and they found that there is sufficient evidence that what she's saying is true for them to have taken on the case, basically. Otherwise, they wouldn't have taken on the case. Because when you think about it, that can ruin your... Because lawyers, obviously, it's still their job, isn't it? So they have to kind of take the emotions out of it, where it's a case where if it doesn't... It can ruin your track record.
Yeah,
in terms of your wins and stuff, do you get what I mean? Yeah. So they did say that they had to, they had to just make sure that it made sense for them to take it on. And then basically what she's saying happened is that she basically ran into him at a local hotspot that was called September's. And she basically got into his limo because he offered to pick up her friend and take the two of them to a party. And it was then, she said, when she got in there, he then started touching her and trying to kiss her. And she was like, no. And she said, I told him no several times and asked him to stop, but he continued to attack me. He then pulled my pants off and violently assaulted me. And then there's no word on whether the car was moving, the car wasn't moving, or whether his limo driver was in there. All of that is, they might maybe say all of that at trial. But it'd be interesting to see what happens if he settles out of court. Do you guys equate settling out of court to being guilty?
I don't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then people understand that people would think you're guilty.
Because you might just want to get this thing out of your stratosphere, bro. Like, but then, this allegation is ruining my reputation. The longer this goes on for, the longer it's going to ruin. I've got the money. You want money? I'm just going to take the L and just pay you. Just leave me alone.
That's why Michael Jackson paid them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
LOL.
I'm not paying crap.
What?
I'm not paying crap. I'm not paying anybody
Because you
else.
know when you pay it,
Your parents have got an agenda.
no, but when you pay,
And
everyone
Brent's stubborn
says,
as
"Oh,
well.
you're
To
doing
be
it."
to his own detriment. So
Yeah, that's true.
you get what I'm saying? That's
No, sorry.
Brent, why they acting like this?
I'm just saying.
No, I'm
No, because you know what it is.
He's
Yeah,
defending his point because of Michael Jackson.
yeah,
Nothing
he's
else.
hurt.
Nothing else. So I'm defending my point because of this.
Actually, do you know what?
Because
Yeah,
that Prince Andrew guy, he did the same thing. Do you understand?
he's
Yeah.
Are you gonna
a piece of
equate
shit.
it?
He's
Trey
a bit-
Songz been doing the
Don't
same
ever
thing.
compare
No,
Prince
remember,
Andrew to Michael
Prince-
Jackson.
Don't ever do
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
I haven't said Trey Songz. That's worse. Because you know what? Everyone, when you hear someone say, "Oh, court," yeah. Don't you guys think the person was guilty?
Yeah, it does give that feeling,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna just assume. You know what I mean? Because MJ didn't do it.
That's what I'm saying. Man.
I actually saw a thing the other day. Sorry, yeah, that's funny. So I just read a comment. But yeah, I actually saw something on my page the other day. I might look into and come on here and read on Word and Road. Don't nod. You don't know what it is.
No, I'm just
It's about Michael Jackson.
I'm just acknowledging.
Okay, that's why I thought you might not want to nod. Basically, it's one of the maids or something like that. And she was like his main maid.
Okay.
And basically what she was saying was that she, obviously when she got hired for the job, whatever, I think she said something about like she can't do what it is that he's asking of her kind of thing. Like she can't take on this, the role seems bigger than Sis thought it was. But he was like, no, do you know what? What's important to me, I was going to do his voice, but no. What's important to him is loyalty and like trust and someone that he can trust to have around.
Yeah.
Member of staff, cool. So she was like, okay, that's fine. And then she basically said how like there was obviously a lot of stuff that would go on in the house or whatever, but there was an obscene amount of, this is why I said I have to check again. But there's a crazy amount of Vaseline around the house. She was like, it was everywhere in that. Like there was a tub everywhere.
Yeah, but
Name the room, he's got some.
But is Vaseline the best form of lubricant?
Some people thought it was. I don't know that during Michael Jackson they had all the fancy flavored ones. I've heard back then. So she was like, and then when she was then asked, what was it used for? Like, was the skin dry? Was the
Cream,
lips-
body cream, baby.
And she said it wasn't used for good things.
How did she know though?
Yeah, as you know.
She lived in the house. She would have been in the house. She would have known. You would hear stuff.
No, but then she should have said something earlier, and she should have said
No, because she had
what
an
it was used for.
NDA. No, she had an NDA. That's another why.
And
reason
also,
why she didn't
what's
speak.
Obscene's amounts of Vaseline? What, 3
Yusuf?
tubs?
If you have one every single...
Like, you know what I mean? How much is enough? It's too much.
And are they all open?
No.
You know what I mean?
If you have more than 2 tubs of Vaseline open at the same time, that's an obscene amount.
No. Are you sure?
Yes. More than 2 tubs open at the same time.
How big a tub? Small tub or are you talking about the big tub?
Any tub. Any tub.
Wait, so is Vaseline universally looked upon as like some type of sex aid?
Mark?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you had the Vaseline and what do you have? Vaseline and what? In your bag? Condoms.
Yeah.
What is Vaseline for?
My lips.
Okay. See,
No,
Michael Jackson
hold
won't
on.
use
Was
for
it a
his
tin
lips.
Vaseline?
What you got in your hand right now?
Then
Oh.
why is he getting crucified for that?
That's what I'm saying.
No, because I don't know, but Michael did not have that.
How do you know?
They didn't have it in Michael's day. That's a recent invention. He had the tub with the blue lids. That's what Michael had.
Because that was all that was available.
Allegedly. Please,
Who told
allegedly.
people that was lubrication anyway? That's like pretty thick and that.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
because that's what- do you know when you watch the
I don't think
movies?
Vaseline is the best form of lubrication.
No. You know when you watch the
You gotta do-
movies?
For a while before it gets, you know what I mean? Before it gets liquidated.
Oh. Nasty. Ew. But this is what Sis was saying. I will try and look up trying to see if I can find the article and see there's more to it, but that's what Sis was saying. It was an obscene amount of Vaseline everywhere in the house. So
Boy.
crazy.
I mean, at least she hasn't tied it to kids. You know what I'm saying? That's just his.
Yeah, but everyone goes without
personal.
saying that he had a lot of kids around him.
Um,
Yeah, there's always a comeback from that one. Yeah, so I will keep you guys updated on the whole Mike Tyson thing. I'll let you know what happens with that. And then my last bit, so one of the Love Islanders has been kicked out of the villa, has been evicted, obviously. But basically, there was also a video of him that kind of surfaced online, where he was basically in a street fight. He was in a street brawl, basically.
Who was that, sorry?
Street brawl.
No, who was in the street?
Oh, his name's Harris. one of the I don't know if he's white. Yeah, he's one of the white guys. He actually had an interview.
the one who's blind in one eye.
No, not him. No. He's a lovely guy. No, this one actually had a argument with the black guy Shaq a few days ago.
Okay.
And he was looking like he was gonna, they were gonna fight kind of situation. But yeah, he was seen in a video punching somebody, and yeah, he's actually been evicted, but he's evicted by public vote. So it's just like we're like interesting that it's the timing crossed conveniently, but yeah, he's out of there anyway. You guys are gonna be doing a Friday loadout, aren't you?
Oh, yeah? I don't watch Love Island.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm not even, yeah.
Like, I haven't watched any of it.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated.
I watched it yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
Did you see Harry's leave then?
No, because he's not. They done the cliffhanger thing, innit?
Oh, spoiler alert.
No, because it was out yesterday that he's left because of the fight anyway. So,
Okay,
so you kind of knew.
They're talking about
I thought they was going to kick him out and just send him home, but it's the way it's done, is the timing, the way they've patterned it up is like,
It's good timing.
yeah, just the eviction thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's that on that. That's all from me today. We're actually behind time. Let's get into People's Journal.
All right, welcome to the People's Journal. I'll give you the news from an economics point of view. I'm going to be quick today, yeah? And the first thing I want to talk about is Amazon. And basically their workers are threatening to walk out, to strike. It's going to be the first ever UK strike against Amazon. It's going to be happening today, and obviously it's going to be over pay. The members of the GMB union are walking out of the Coventry warehouse, and the reason they're walking out is because guess how much they were paid an increase?
Well, like 10p, knowing Amazon.
Okay, not that bad, but 50p. 50p.
I said
yeah.
not that bad.
It's as good as 10p, man. yeah.
I said not that bad. Like you're
Not
going to
10,
say a couple
15.
pounds. Man said 40p extra.
What?
Yeah, 50p an hour extra, and yeah, man. Obviously, you guys have heard about the conditions in Amazon in the warehouses and stuff.
Not
Yeah, I've heard. That's
loosely. Nothing
they
concrete.
should have been striking.
It's very, very tough, man. Apparently, very tough. Yeah, apparently, the workers were talking to the BBC. They said they got severe conditions. They always get accosted for just chilling, basically idle time, which could be as little as a few minutes. Their lunch break, because of how big the warehouse is. Sometimes to get from where you are in the actual warehouse to the staff room could be like a 5-10 minute walk.
Wow.
And all of that is factored into your lunch break. So all of that type of stuff. And they're just pretty much striking because of those type of conditions as well, especially with the small amount of increase in their pay that they're being offered. So yeah, that's going to take place today. Hopefully they're able to get what they want. The next thing I want to talk about is Eurostar. And basically, the boss of Eurostar said that its trains between UK and Paris are carrying 30% fewer passengers. I guess it's cost of living crisis, isn't it? There's just so many things that that people are preferring, I should say, to use their money for. You know what I'm saying? But we reported months ago about how there was a huge decline in the amount of people using the service anyway. But yeah, it just seems like it hasn't fully recovered as yet. So they're currently running 14 services per day between London and Paris. But back in 2019, post-COVID, it was 18. So yeah, they're down 30%. And the last thing I want to talk about is Nadhim Zahawi. Remember, again, spoke about him a couple of times now. He was the former Chancellor under Liz Truss. And remember, he paid his tax to HMRC, but he tried to do it hush-hush. And I think he did it around September, I believe, last year. But obviously, it's come to light. And what they're saying is he didn't just pay tax, he paid a penalty on top. Meaning, obviously, there was something untoward in that particular transaction. And so people are basically saying to Rishi Sunak, who's going to be facing more criticism today at the PMQs, that he needs to sack the guy. You know what I'm saying? But Sunak is saying, I'm not sacking him. He's my party chairman, and I need to obviously investigate it first, innit? And actually see what actually went on. So, yeah, long story short, Rishi Sunak is going to be pressed over Nadhim Zahawi's tax affairs. So we're going to see what he comes out with, if he has found anything from the investigation as yet, and if Zahawi is going to keep his job. And that is literally it for the People's Journal today, man.
Thank you very much. Sorry, what is our next segment?
Headlines.
Let's get into our next headlines.
All right, so there's a trigger warning here, and this is basically about a sad situation that we spoke about before regarding a law graduate by the name of Zara Aleena. And basically, it's come out that probation officers have been accused of having blood on their hands after failings by probation officers, which left a sexual predator by the name of Jordan McSweeney free to stalk and kill Zara Aleena. This was released according to this a watchdog. In this damning report, the Chief Inspector of Probation, Justin Russell, highlighted a catalogue of errors in the probation service's handling of McSweeney, which meant he was not treated as a high-risk offender when he should have been. McSweeney's 29. He was given a life sentence and jailed for at least 38 years last month. We reported on that after he admitted that he committed a terrifying and ruthless attack on a 35-year-old in Ilford in June. In court, the prolific thief McSweeney was described as a damaged person who had a troubled childhood where domestic violence was the norm. He was taken into care, he was expelled from school, and he started drug dealing and bare-knuckle fighting for money. Apparently, he had 28 past convictions for 69 separate offences over 17 years, including burglary, theft of a vehicle, criminal damage, assaulting police officers, and attacking members of the public while on bail. He also had a history of violence towards ex-partners and was handed a restraining order for an offence against a woman in 2021. So all of these type of things occurred in his life, and he wasn't deemed a high risk. Prisons and Probation Minister Damien Hines said that this was a despicable crime, and I apologise unreservedly to Zara Aleena's family for the unacceptable failings in this case. We are taking immediate steps to address the serious issues raised by the Jordan McSweeney and Damien Bendel cases. The next headline, trigger warning here, and this is a crazy one. We kind of touched, well, we didn't talk about this, but obviously it reminded me of what we talked about yesterday. And this is basically about a man by the name of Andrew Malkinson. Yeah, Andrew Malkinson, who's aged 57. And apparently he could be allowed to appeal against his 2004 conviction for the first time after his legal team brought new DNA evidence to light. So basically, in a further development, the Greater Manchester Police revealed on Tuesday that a 48-year-old man from Essex had
Trigger
been...
warning.
Yeah. I thought I said that already.
You said that?
I think so.
Okay.
If not, trigger warning, people. But Greater Manchester Police revealed on Tuesday that a 48-year-old man from Essex had been arrested last month on suspicion of rape. That suspect has since been released under investigation, that's what police have said. Malkinson was handed a life sentence in 2004 and had twice been refused an appeal after applying for his case to be reviewed by the Criminal Cases Review Commission, the body responsible for investigating alleged miscarriages of justice. But since his release on licence from HMP North Sea Camp in 2020, advancements in scientific techniques have allowed his legal team at the charity to appeal and basically provide the commission with evidence which has now cast doubt on his conviction. This new evidence revealed the presence of an unknown male DNA in samples taken from the victim and her clothing, and the CCRC, which is the Criminal Cases Review Commission, was then able to identify an alternative suspect via the search on the National DNA Database. The Commission has now permitted the case to be referred to the Court of Appeal, where judges will decide whether to allow an appeal against the conviction. Malkinson was convicted of strangling and raping a 33-year-old woman in Salford in July of 2003 by a jury verdict of 10-2. His legal team claimed that this was despite the absence of any forensic evidence linking him to the attack and discrepancies with the descriptions provided by the eyewitnesses. So long story short, this guy served 17 years in prison, and they've now found out that there's another guy who fits the crime, basically, based on new DNA evidence. So hopefully he's going to be appealing that, and hopefully
Did he get paid money for the time he spent?
I think so. I think he gets some compensation. But unless he's a whatless type of human being, that money, what does that do?
Yeah, money can never bring your time back. That's
Not
mad.
at all.
17 years.
Yeah. Anyway, and the last thing I want to talk about is basically children. Trigger warning here. Allegedly, according to reports filed over 3 years, children in care were punched, locked out naked, and had vinegar poured on their cuts. Right.
Wow.
Before their care homes were finally shut. A BBC investigation had learned that more than 100 concerns were logged at the Doncaster Children's Home, which retained a good Ofsted rating. So despite all of this, they still were rated good, right? Leaked documents also showed Ofsted was alerted 40 times about these incidents. The regulator has now apologised, as has Hesley Group, which ran the homes. More than 100 of the UK's most vulnerable children in care are feared to have been harmed, involving many who are non-verbal. The homes, which included 2 residential special schools, they charged local authorities £250,000 a year to care for each young person. You hearing these figures? A quarter each young person
A year.
a year. The homes continue to get rated good by Ofsted, but in March of 2021, the regulator finally stepped in and they were closed shortly afterwards. BBC News revealed in June of last year that more than 100 safeguarding reports had been made to authorities, and in October, an expert panel said that there had been systemic and sustained abuse in these homes. But now, through leaked Hesley Group documents, including confidential safeguarding reports and interviews with 15 former staff, the BBC revealed the scale and of the failure of the authorities to act. So basically what it is there's bare things that happen that people can kind of do their Googles and stuff. It's a long list. But essentially, children were reportedly locked overnight in bathrooms. They were left in soiled clothes. They were made to sit in cold baths. They were deprived of medication for days. There was an autistic girl who basically suffers from learning difficulties and epilepsy. And she apparently was dragged across the floor of the particular home. So all these crazy, egregious crimes were happening at this particular care home, and they were still getting rated good.
Sometimes you just need to rush people, you know. You don't even need to do a justice situation. You just need to rush them.
Telling you.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the end of the headlines.
Thank you very much. Let's get into our quick reaction.
Oh, sorry. Let's get into sports headlines. Sorry, I had some work doing.
I bet.
Checking these flights, baby.
I know.
These flights. I gotta get
Like
out.
you
of
woke
here.
up today, you were definitely ready to go. Like
gotta
the cold
leave.
this morning.
It's too cold. I gotta leave. I can't do it. But so
Yeah.
reaction, sports headlines. What have we got here? Yesterday, first leg Carabao Cup semi-finals. Southampton lost 1-0 to Newcastle. They got it done. Joe Linton got the goal at the third time of asking. I think he had one disallowed. Then he missed the sitter. Then he got the late goal, 1-0. I'm guessing you don't care about that because you're not in the competition.
I don't necessarily care. Is this the quarters or
Semis.
semis? Okay, it's Newcastle through, right? And you guys
No.
are playing-
First leg.
First leg.
Oh, first leg, okay. And you guys are playing who?
Forest, we've got a tough clash with Forest tonight.
Okay, I'm predicting the Newcastle United final. And then Newcastle got a good defence, you know.
Well,
Good defence. So
we
it's
could speak
tough.
about the defence and their goalkeeper and all these things, because the next headline is Nick Pope the best goalkeeper in the world? So Bruno Guimaraes came out hailing his goalkeeper. That's his 10 clean sheet in a row. He hasn't been beaten since November the 6th, I believe. That is 79 days. Last game against Southampton when they got a late equaliser. The guys,
But-
it's a serious run. 901 minutes without conceding. And he's made good saves. I think he's up there in
that,
the...
that was going to be my question. How many saves is he making? Because is it defence that are stopping the goals or is it him?
Okay, cool. So watch this. Pope has been called on to make 20 saves in those 10 matches, including 3 at St Mary. So his shots to save ratio or something like that is not. It's not even like it's low.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact stat because they said it the other day, but like
Yeah.
he's up there, like say like in the top 5 or something.
Yeah,
like that. Like he's saving goals as well.
Okay.
He's not just great defense.
Yeah, reason being is because obviously a great defence can make a goalkeeper stat-wise look impeccable.
Yeah, but then even so, they're not a great defense. Like they're good, like individually when you break them down, and obviously as a unit they're thing, but it's not a great defense. They're doing great things. Don't get me wrong.
The thing is, I can't say I watch Nick Pope enough to say he's the best keeper in the world, but I just feel like it's a grandiose statement.
I'll help you out here. He's not the best goalkeeper in the world. It's just a stupid statement. You get me? It's a crazy statement, but he's doing well at the minute.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's not even England's number 1. So let's see if he can oust Pickford first before we start throwing those terms around. But they're doing dope.
Who wrote this Nick Pope best keeper in the world? Was it Brent?
Well, this is it's a thing, isn't it? Bruno Guerrero's come out yesterday after the game and he said he's the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah, but he's G'ing up his own teammate, innit? So
I mean, yeah, but people don't say those things.
he must be seeing things we don't see in training. Then he must be seeing some worldy saves or something. I don't know.
He's capping, man. He's high after the juice, Kool-Aid. He's sipping the Kool-Aid. But yeah, man, big up Newcastle. Not conceding goals will get it done.
Yeah, no, it will.
It will definitely get it done. So, what's this story about? Liverpool favourites to sign Jude Bellingham. Where's that coming from? Speaking to transfer show Sky, Germany reporter Florian Plettenberg said Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp is pushing to bring 19-year-old back to England to enhance his size midfield. Do you think Liverpool will be favourites?
I read this morning it's between Liverpool, Real Madrid, and City, and a lot of pundits are encouraging him to come to the Prem before he goes to La Liga. I would say, based on the word on the road, I'll say Liverpool are favourites, just based on what I've heard already. Out of the three, I'll probably want him to come Prem before he goes to La Liga. I feel like La Liga is something he could do later on in his career. He's English, come to the Prem, you know what I mean? Build your career here. I can see him picking Liverpool over Man City as well for some reason.
He looks like he could be a Liverpool player. He's good. Yeah. He's actually very cold.
Is La Liga exciting anymore though?
I don't know. I don't watch it.
Not really. No, it is. It's the prestige of playing for Real or Barca. That's what it is. Above everything else.
La Liga is shit.
That's why people want to go to La Liga. It's not because they want to play in.
I don't think no one wants to go there anymore.
Not go there, but that's why people want to go to Barca or Real. In particular,
I just even think the appeal's gone. That Messi's out that league. It's done. There's nothing going on over there. They need another superstar fast. They need Mbappe over there. Get Mbappe over there, and the Liga will come back.
To be fair, we're not thinking about in terms of star power now, the Liga they don't have any of the big stars in it.
It's meaty. Like, I'm not watching the Liga for nothing. I'm an avid football fan. I'm not watching the foreign leagues, but I used to watch the Liga.
I watch Barca because I like some of their players.
Even then, I used to watch the Liga, like catch the odd game here and there more when we used to watch it. But nah, it's done now. Especially since they took it off Sky as well. I'm not looking for links for the Liga and all them foolishness. You get me? Like, but yeah, it's trash. Ain't no one watching that shit. I'd rather watch Football League.
If Jude goes Liverpool, what's their midfield looking like?
Jude.
Because I'm going to assume certain players are on their way out.
Yeah, but them older men still got a couple of years left in them.
Jude, Thiago, and
Hendo. I think that's all right. They got Harvey Elliott coming up. That new young boy, I can't remember his name, but he played yesterday. Not yesterday, the other day ago. He's all right. Yeah, he's good. They got. I don't know. He needs to come United, man.
We're saying, Brent. Arsenal. Declan Rice is looking like the word on the road is that he favours the move to Arsenal over Chelsea or other suitors.
I follow transfer stories and stuff and sagas and that, and it's bubbling online. There's no real substance to that story.
Yeah, no, there's no, I guess, official sources that have come out and said it, but it's just word on the road.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's people are saying it. I think it's wishful thinking in a minute. There's no substance to it whatsoever. But you know what though? If you are prepared to spend the money, definitely possible.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
I don't know about that.
Well, you don't think it's possible?
I don't like Declan Rice. Yet.
That doesn't mean there's not. So because you don't like it, you think it's not possible.
Let me finish. Let me land. There's a guy who apparently we were going to pay his release clause. But he's supposed to be the next Busquets.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to come. He didn't want to leave his team now. He rather leave in summer. He plays for what's the team play for? Real Sociedad, I think.
But if it is, we will actually looking to actively
50. I think
pay
50
his
something.
release clause. I don't see Declan Rice coming.
But is he a Declan Rice player?
Busquets.
I never heard he was Busquets. I don't know.
That's what they're comparing him to. And I'd prefer him than Declan Rice. I ain't seen anything with Declan Rice yet.
I like Rice because of his size. We need a physically imposing person in the middle. Apparently, we're trying to go for Onana from Everton, but apparently we made an official connection. As we called them up, but they said 50 million minimum. So apparently Arsenal are going to step away because they don't think his value is that much high. But Everton paid 35 million for him though. So if they want to turn a profit, then 50 million sounds. He's 21. I'm not gonna lie. I say we put the money down.
I like it too.
Huh? Yeah. But yeah.
I'm not sold on Rice yet, my friend, Max.
Okay, that's cool. Don't get him, man. I wouldn't want you to get him.
Rice part. Actually, no. Would Rice play with Partey or instead of Partey?
With him.
But Rice ain't coming to Arsenal to be on the bench.
With him.
We have to play with him.
In what, replacing Xhaka?
Yeah.
You don't think Declan Rice is better than Xhaka?
Asking you.
No,
What?
if Rice came to
You
Arsenal,
don't think Declan Rice is better than
I'm
Xhaka?
not, to be honest, no. I just told you I don't rate Declan Rice the way you obviously rate him. I don't even watch West Ham, so I don't even know too tough. But when I've seen him playing, I'm not seeing anything special. And 100%, I'm seeing Xhaka because I didn't like Xhaka back in the day because he was playing the wrong position. But no, 100%. That's just me, my opinion.
That's all right. I like we can watch things play out because I'm guessing he's going to get that move.
But
I'm guessing he's going to get that move.
Rice and Partey with
Wherever he
Odegaard,
goes,
that's solid.
wherever he goes, he's going to
That's-
improve
that's
exponentially.
Fair defense, man.
You don't know what Rice
But
got.
Partey-
You don't know.
Like I said, I don't watch Rice. I don't know. Is he a passer?
Partey moves forward though. Partey's not like El Neni where he's sideways, backwards.
He's
Partey,
mobile. He's fluid, but he's not.
I'm not saying
he's not Xhaka,
I'm not saying he's an attacking midfielder, but Partey can move the ball forward, especially with instruction. Like if this is your new role, please go a bit more forward and let Rice do the sitting. That's a formidable midfield. Partey, Rice, and
Well, it
Odegaard.
sounds formidable. It sounds solid,
Yeah.
but it's not, it doesn't sound as fluid as it is right now with Xhaka.
You think Xhaka's not that? You think Xhaka's some like
I rate Xhaka now.
Messi type of player? Like he's not that fluid.
Not Messi.
Some of you lot, because I
No,
know.
I rate Xhaka, but I'm not seeing Xhaka, Partey, and Odegaard as like.
If I'm saying
the most fluid
if I'm
midfield.
saying I don't rate Rice better than Xhaka,
Yeah.
shows how much it is I don't know what Rice does.
Okay.
Do you understand? I might be completely stupid because he may be better than Xhaka, but I haven't seen it.
Not everybody shares their opinion, but Declan Rice is absolutely cold, like absolutely cold, and he's one of them understated players where you can like what he does can get lost on you if you're
Like
not
Henderson.
if you're not looking at the right things, and then. He's not even like he's a dirt man. Like he's got it. He can carry the ball. He can travel with the ball. He can pass. The things that he does is what he chooses to do. He can do more if you give him a different role. If you give him box to box and let him go, he can go. Do you know what I'm trying to
asked you
say?
if he was like Ramsey and you said yes.
I never said yes.
Ramsey.
Oh, did you?
No, I never said
Okay.
yes that time.
Who's better?
Who's better?
Yeah, at the peak.
What, Ramsey and Declan Rice?
I told you had that purple patch that you did because every time anybody
Yeah,
says Ramsey, I know
this is why I
exactly what
said-
they're talking
I
about.
remember you saying
That
that.
purple patch that Ramsey
Yes.
went
But
on.
Ramsey and
It's
Rice
not
are
fair to compare to anyone. It's not even comparable. It's not.
But Ramsey and Rice are not the same type of player though.
They're not at all.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a good
Oh,
comparison.
serious?
No.
They're not the same type of player.
So Ramsey's box to box, but Rice isn't.
Rice can do box to box. Rice is a
What's his
You know what it
strength?
is? Huh?
What's his strength?
I think Rice's strength is probably his biggest strength for me would be his brain, game management, reading of the game, interceptions, controlling the game. You get me? Like in possession, very good pass of the ball, technical ability. He's mobile. He's just a good shield. Like I said, for them top 4, top 6 teams, I think he would improve any one of them exponentially. Like you don't need to want him. Like you let one of your rivals get him, you're gonna know about it, and you don't know yet because you're not watching him, but you'll know soon enough. So I'd rather you don't get him, and then we can revisit this.
Why did he split opinion though?
I don't think he splits opinions.
You
He's
said that.
huh?
You said he splits opinion.
No, I said I've seen. I was talking to these lot because when I was talking about it last time, there was a couple of men in the chat saying that he's rubbish and I don't think he splits public opinion. He's not even. There's no pressure for his place in the England spot. It's his place. There's what public opinion. He's the guy for his slot. He's the number one. There's no public opinion. No one don't doubt Rice. Not the professionals. Not anybody who knows what they're talking about. And I don't mind if people's opinions that I don't respect don't like him. That doesn't mean anything to me. So yeah, I don't think he doesn't split opinion at all.
Rice will be a good signing, man. Either, with Partey, without Partey, Xhaka, whoever. But Rice as a addition to Arsenal's squad is
Partey, Rice, and Odegaard, yeah, that's a serious midfield, bro.
Yeah.
Like a dead serious midfield. Dead serious. It's robust. You could play football. There's legs in there.
And there's nothing wrong with having a more solid defensive base. You forget you still got Odegaard and 3 attackers. I don't think there's anything wrong with having 2 defensive-minded players in your midfield, especially going against certain teams.
Yeah, I want my defensive-minded midfielders to be as mobile as Partey.
Declan's mobile, you know.
Declan could move.
No, but I'm just responding to his.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
I don't want them to just sit there. They need to be mobile. In my head, I want it to be completely fluid.
Do you think Partey is rigid?
No, as I said, I'd prefer him to be like Partey.
And when you describe Xhaka, what do you describe him as? Do you think Xhaka is very, very fluid?
He's
I
more
know,
fluid than he was before, yes.
I know he's a good passer, and now he's making runs into the box. But I don't see Xhaka as this fluid midfielder. I think he's a bit. Yeah, he makes good forward passes. He makes runs, but I don't see him as, you know, like a Cazorla.
No, he's not.
You know what I mean? So,
No, he's not.
Yeah, I don't think he's the most fluid person in the world. I think
Yeah,
you're describing him to be more fluid than I think he is.
How I'm comparing him to Rice, and as I said, I'm on record saying I haven't watched Rice like that. But the games I've seen of him, he hasn't impressed me. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe he's exactly what it is you're saying he is, and great.
He is. I'm like I said, I'm an avid football fan. I think, and I rate my own opinion highly anyway. So I'll just rather just wait. Because I ain't got a horse in this race. I ain't got nothing to prove for Rice. So anybody who doesn't know, whatever they think of him, they're allowed to think of him. I'm waiting for him to get that move from West Ham, and I'm saying wherever he goes, you're gonna see, whether that's Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, United, wherever he goes, we'll see. And then everybody in the chat that's saying he's whacking, he's this and he's that and he's that, then we'll see. And it's all right because your opinion's allowed to change. You just hold your hand up and say my bad.
And also, I trust
my bad.
I trust Arteta at this point. Like, I trust the players that he wants to bring in because he has a strategy for that player. So if he sees qualities in a player that he wants to add to his team, I trust him. So if he feels like Declan Rice is the guy to bring in to fit in his system and to implement what he wants to do, then I'm all for it.
Bear in mind, he's probably watched more Declan Rice games than me. I'm on record saying
No,
I don't watch Declan Rice.
He watched more than me. I'm not saying I know bare about Declan Rice. I don't know bare about Declan Rice, but I've watched him play, of course.
I've watched Declan Rice play pure
He's
times.
probably watched Declan Rice play way more than me, but I know he's a good player.
That's where it helps. This is why I watch so much football.
So you could talk.
So I can talk. You get what I'm trying to say?
that,
This is why I watch so much football, so I can talk. I know what I'm talking about when I'm saying stuff. You get what I'm trying to say? That. And again, it is an opinion, so you're allowed to your opinion. Your opinion might be like, he's not for you, or he's not this, or he's not that. But that's a good footballer. Good addition. Again, I'll say again, a good addition.
You have a more educated position because you've watched him. I have not watched him.
Yeah, he'll be a good, even if you don't even like him or rate him like that, he'll be such a good addition for your team.
Yeah.
Like, such a good addition for your team, bro. Like, honestly, like, he would. I wouldn't want him to go Arsenal. So that says enough.
And the fact that the rumblings are that he actually wants to come, to me, it shows me that we've turned the page now.
As he said, there's no source to any of this.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna debunk it because he says there's no source. Like, it just shows. I feel like we've turned the page now. We're looking like an attractive team. People believe in our manager. They see a manager who's kind of like, he's got a plan. He's young. He's full of ideas. He knows what he's doing, and he's taking this team from here to here in a short amount of time, innit? You know what I mean? So I think it speaks volumes that people actually want to come to Arsenal now.
You have United fans, talking about how they're going toe to toe with Arsenal. So that's good.
United fans just want to humble Arsenal fans. They just no one wants to see us have fun. Like we've been down bad for 20 years plus years. The minute we start getting a bit of glory, it's like pipe down. Let us have fun, man. This is football, bro.
It's not, man. I don't know what. You've got such a small team mentality.
Here we go.
And we just don't like it. That's why you don't deserve nice things, because you don't know
Marks,
what it's like.
Marks.
You use man, you think you're the only one, and this is why people hate Arsenal fans, yeah, and why you are idiots, yeah, because you're not supposed to care about the league, yeah,
Marks.
and care about winning.
Marks.
You care too much about anything else. Let me just give you an example, yeah. I understand that I have a platform, yeah, so I understand that when I see things, yeah, when I say things, people are gonna see it.
Yeah.
So granted, when people come back to bother me, yeah, it's because if I've wound you up, then it's like maybe you want a little get back, yeah. But I'm above all of you, man. I don't at you lot. You think I could play you lot and beat you, then I'm atting you? No, I don't care about none of you lot. I don't care about none of this shit. You lot will at me when we lose. You lot will at me when you're not even playing us. Like, you lot will win someone else, so you're not even playing a team that I don't support, and at me. I'm talking about and I'm like, I'm just gonna go past that and go about my business. I'm saying, use our small fry mentality, because I'm coming from a place of power. I'm a king. You get me? When you men are getting cooked up, and you think I'm bothering you, lot. You think I'm atting people, but you need to come and get me, like, and it's because it's a small mentality, bro.
Brad, what's he talking about?
You know why did you at me after the game?
Why?
Why did you at me after the game?
Because you're my co-host.
But
reaction.
you're not the only one
That's
to
a
do
bad
it.
example. Come on.
No,
that is a bad
Hit me
example.
up.
Because he's not the only one. All Arsenal fans do
Brent.
it. I've never acted an Arsenal fan, you know.
Marks.
Have you understand? I've never acted an Arsenal fan about anything.
Marks.
Never.
Marks.
In all the stuff you don't see me say, yeah, I have
Marks.
never acted an Arsenal fan.
I'll give you a very
You have a
simple.
platform.
Wait, hit me up.
You have a platform.
Can I
He's
have the
got a
floor?
platform.
And, no, and
Can I have
you
the floor?
be talking about Man United.
Have the
other
floor.
platforms.
Have the floor
It's
quickly.
not at you.
Marks.
Yous are down bad. Yous are sad.
Marks, me and you, yeah, we sit here and we have a segment called The Reaction.
We could have reacted the next day.
But I wasn't here. We have an ongoing feud and dialogue.
Okay, so you're bad.
I'm
Okay, you're bad.
feeding-
You're a bad example.
I'm feeding into it.
Okay,
by
you know what?
adding you.
I'll hold it. You're a bad example. You're a bad example. But
Yeah.
you weren't the only one.
Yeah, but I can't talk to
Man,
why
I
they do.
don't. Man, I don't do no show with at me. So what's man talking about?
The thing is, this is my thing, right? We came into the season on a humble thing, right? Yeah, we hope Arsenal finish top 4, and that's our hope, right? You, yeah, want to put us in a false sense of security and belief to where we're like, we're going to win the league. We're going to win the league. So if we don't, you got something to get us for. Like, you want a reason to come at us. And you don't, that's why you're like, oh yeah, be a man, say it. Like, listen, we're comfortable over here. You're the one, thing is, when you look at the season, right, look at our dialogue. You're the one who said Arsenal not going to finish top 4. You're the one that said Man United going to finish above us. You're the one that said that Nketiah won't score. You're actually the person who's bringing all this negativity. Am I lying, Brett? It's you. So what do you expect?
I'm just saying.
What do you expect? Do you expect people to leave you alone when
Yeah, they should,
when
though.
you're the one who's coming at Arsenal every single day?
Yeah, why bother me for?
Because you're bothering us.
I'm not atting you though.
You're bothering us though. You're doubting Nketiah who scored a brace against you. You're still saying that you believe you're going to finish above Arsenal.
It's on.
Exactly.
On. It's
Listen,
on. Potentially, it's there.
Listen, May. I just can't wait till May, man. Can't wait till May. I'm not saying we're going to win the league because this is the facts of the matter, right? This is the facts of the matter. Yes, we've got 50 points. Yes, we're in a great position. But guess what? We could still not win the league, you know?
I think if you don't win the league,
Like,
yeah.
Brent, we could still not win the league.
Yeah, it's possible.
And guess what? I'll be fine with it. You know why? Because we're back in the Champions League. And that's what I wanted.
I believe, yeah.
That's what I wanted all along. Champions
If
League
you
football.
don't win the league, it is the most.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
It is the most.
It isn't the most.
It's be the most pathetic.
It won't be. It won't be. It won't be. It won't be.
Okay.
It won't be.
Okay.
Fred
It
thinks
won't be.
your head's hot.
Huh?
Fred thinks your head's hot.
That's all right. You don't watch me every day. I don't understand. You don't know my style. I don't get hot. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if I really get rattled one day, I think you'll actually notice it. But in the heat of the moment,
It's so funny.
just get in my bag.
We haven't had this Arsenal Man United thing for so long. Yeah, it's just funny to see it now just come back. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the only thing, because like I said, look,
Like, I haven't argued with Man United fans for years like this.
Enjoy it while it lasts, innit? Because you're top of the league. You beat us the other day, so I can't say nothing. I'm just saying, have some decorum, innit?
What decorum?
Why are you at me for? Why is man at me for?
Because, what do you mean, why am I at you? Stop asking me silly questions, man. You know why I'm at you.
Cool out. If you're not a United fan, get off the line.
I should be in your top 5, and that's because everything I just lied. Come on.
Okay, that's bars. That's mine.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So Achilles, so all this people are given.
No way you done that. Achilles, them. This ain't that kind of platform, man.
Man calls to drop a hot 16 and just stop the line.
This ain't that kind of show, man. Honestly.
Called to drop one bar.
Right, let's get into Done Out Ere, please.
Let's go.
Man, you are just weirdos. I don't understand why me telling my gripes, you don't see it as me crying. I'm just saying, just don't at me in it. Like, everything you just say it without atting me. That's all it is. That's all it is. I think that's fair. You are weirdos.
Who's weird? This is
Arsenal fans are
wait,
weird.
This is football, bro. Like, what do you expect people to be quiet? This is how we do it. This is the back and forth, give and take. Like, what are you talking about?
Because if I was to start atting people, I'd be annoying. I'd annoy people. I don't at people. I don't bother people. Could you imagine if I was going to start atting people?
No, but this is your platform, though, is to speak here. Their platform is to at you on Twitter because they don't have a voice.
Right, that's
So
cool. That's why
how else are they going to get to you?
That's all right, cool. That's why I stay on your necks anyway, so it's cool anyway. It's cool. Man said you was running your mouth all year. Shut up, Kevin. I can't believe you support Arsenal, man.
Oh, he supports Arsenal?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
That's why anytime we talk sports, he just talks crap. His opinion, Kevin's opinion on sports is horrible. I'll tell you that much. Horrible. Some of the stuff you say, you might be onto something. Actually, bro, what am I talking about?
Yeah, I was looking at you like, you got to work with me tomorrow and the day after that. You might not want to pick that side.
He's an Arsenal fan, man. It explains a lot, though. It explains a lot.
People don't like seeing Arsenal fans happy, man. I'm convinced.
You don't do too much, man.
We don't.
All right, cool.
We don't do too much, man. We're just enjoying our life. That's all, man.
All right, cool. Well, today's Done Out Here is gonna have to be. This has been on the dock for a couple of days, and I kept avoiding it. But trigger warning. Well, do we? Yeah, it must be because these police are pieces of shit. 16 of these officers, these crooks in uniform, have been like convicted since the murder of Sarah Everard. Her name is.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like these policemen, like, and obviously, yeah, you know, like you got that cliche, you just look at say like, oh yeah, the policeman, like, oh yeah, you were just bullied in school and stuff like that. Like, you can tell these men have come from a place of, you can tell all these men were down bad, yeah, and they put on this uniform, yeah, to try and feel something. If that makes sense, that's why they want to abuse their power. Get up some of their mugshots, Brent, for me, please. Like, that's just why they want to abuse their power. Like, these men look like some of the idiotist white youths you've ever but. Any serious white man that wants to do something, yeah, that's patriotic, yeah, that's on smoke, yeah, he's more likely going to go army. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, he's more likely going to go army. Police is a cop-out. These men were getting bullied in school. These men were undesirable. These men wasn't physical specimens. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, and then they put this uniform on, yeah, and then they're taking the piss. Some of these crimes that these men are doing, yeah, normal man shouldn't be doing it. Like, this officer's getting exposed, yeah, for sex messaging a 13-year-old girl. Like, I don't understand. Like, I honestly don't understand. Some of these man is punching up his gal. I told you there's a trigger woman. There's a lot of stuff going on there. These men are punching up their gal, doing all crazy things. These men are sending like graphic pictures. One of these men sent a graphic picture to a boy that was 15. You get me? Like, these men are. These men are like actually like going for it. Another officer tried to arrange to meet a girl for sex. She was 13. Another one has been sending messages to like one of the female crime victims, so someone that you're supposed to be helping. He got her number and he's trying to draw her. Another one, he tried to start a sexual relationship with 2 vulnerable girls. So these are vulnerable girls as well that have come into their care to be helped with. You get what I'm trying to say? Like 15 and 16. One of them has been taking pictures. That one there on the screen right there at the bottom left here. He's taking and sharing pictures of dead gal.
What?
Yeah. So I don't know if he's on a necrophilia thing or what. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? That? But I'm saying, if you just look at these man, you could just... I would never, if I just looked at these pictures anyway, obviously mugshots always look bad, but if I just looked at these pictures anyway, none of them are giving police, you know what I'm trying to say? None of them are giving them protector, none of them are giving civil servant. These men are, honestly, these are men are crooks in uniform, like, it's horrible. They're trying to do a shake-up. They're basically telling every single police force in the country to look in the mirror and boom, 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 boom. But it's not enough, man. We've been talking about it all from last year, man. Like, I don't know, like, it's like anyone can just be police. These men have got criminal records. These men have got ties with crimes. These, like, all types of colourful past, and you're just giving them the uniform and letting them just do what they want. And it's ridiculous, man. Like, I didn't even read out all the sentences. There was some sentences ranging from all kinds. Some of them got a couple of years. Some of them got a couple of months. Some got suspended sentences. I don't know how it works. Hopefully they all lose their jobs. You get me? I should have flipping named and shamed all of them, actually. Like, but yeah, man, Metropolitan Police, man, you are really, really, really damn bad, man. They just got to be better, man. These fucking pieces of shit. I can't take these, man. All these men look like paedophiles. Like, honestly. Like, all of them look like paedophiles. I don't know.
Especially him.
Especially Donny, innit?
Yeah.
He looks like the ringleader. Well, he is. I think he's the main one. Yeah, that's that David Carrick, man. He's the one. Let me see.
He actually looks familiar.
Huh? He pleaded guilty to 49 charges
Like,
against a dozen women. That's why he looks like that. Yeah. He's the ringleader. He's yeah, this one's the devil himself. You get me? Pieces of shit, man. I hate Babylon at the best of times. Anyway, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, so when they're doing these things like that, like, it's just, yeah, man. It's just horrible, man. There was an outcry of rage with that Sarah thing from last year. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, and obviously ever since then, like, the police have been highlighted and things have just been going from bad to worse. if I'm honest. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so when they're going to do more investigations, I don't even know what else we're going to find out. But when they find them, we will be here to name and shame these pussies. So definitely, Metropolitan Police, you 16 man that's been convicted, scumbags, especially PC David Carrick as well. What a piece of shit. These are done at it, man. But yeah, let's get into our outro.
Okay, people, as always, we appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also follow us on our social media platforms. The Day After TNB, we are on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And every morning we will need you to kindly retweet the link to the show so more people can tune in. If you want to send voice notes and text in for asking for a friend, what would you do? The number is 075 64841073. If you ever have any suggestions for the show as well, whether that be a headline, topic of the day, or
I think you're tapping the thingy. No?
Someone
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Just do me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. If you ever got a suggestion for topic of the day, woke or joke, whatever it is, to be honest, that the way to suggest that is via the community. So join the community, community.thenewblack.com. We do not spell black with an A over here. It's over an X. And if you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, the email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday.